It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Sick goof 'em ups.
Yeah, sick goof 'em ups. Well, I goof 'em up on the right channel at least. Credits is now live. History was live. Credits, for those unfamiliar, YouTube does this thing that I love so very much, which is on Twitch, when you click start streaming, you start streaming. And on YouTube, you have to click start streaming in 2 places, unless you set a very special secret setting, which I forgot to set for one of our 2 channels. So, hi, Credits Janet. Hello. Greetings, salutations.
Welcome in to this party for the History Happens Every Day 2027 calendar.
Yes. All right.
We were just about to sort of go over to, I believe, the Kickstarter page.
Indeed we were, and in fact, well, that number is moving quite quickly. Let's move on over. Matt?
Yes.
We've been live for 8 minutes.
It's going well.
Yeah. That's 8. That's the 8 minutes.
Here's what. Okay, I'm not trying to put anything. Let's scroll down away from the number. Let's not look at the number, and let's look at the actual campaign here, so we can sort of describe it, and then we'll check in once we've done and completed the explanation. Right? So, as I was saying, you can obviously see some of David's art right up there for, I believe this, at least as of for now, is the November art, though I am not entirely sure. David, tell us a little bit. Well, actually, we'll get to that piece in a moment. So you can see there, but specifically the other half of the calendar is this part, which is the actual dates. And there's a new historical fact that is often underrepresented on each day. We try very hard to refresh them every year. And then the dates with specific, scroll back up, Will, so sorry. The dates with, like, you see those sort of like shadow images there. You can see this clearer on the actual Kickstarter page itself. Those are linked to a QR code at the bottom of each month, which if you scroll ever so slightly, it looks like that. And that will take you to videos in our catalog tied to the date represented under the little picture. So not only can you learn something new, hopefully every day of the year, but also on specific days, you can scan it and watch videos and like really deep dive into the history that we're talking about. Next up, we have a little Voodoo Val and David Hueso part here. This is one of Val's pieces. What is this based off of?
I wonder.
Starry Night, and I think that's Ottoman.
Omega Hussar, yes.
Yeah.
I love this piece as well. We'll be revealing more pieces of art as we go throughout the campaign.
And I have a fun fact about this piece of art that you 2 gents may not know. Starry Night, difficult puzzle to do. Very difficult puzzle. In fact,
we'll
chat hated it.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout out real quick here to Hez. Sorry, I'm blocking all of our faces, but found the channel through YouTube short videos. Now I'm binge watching all of your content. Love your channel. Thank you so much. That is the goal. We love doing the long stuff, and the shorts are fun, and I think we do a really great job with them. Everyone who's touched them on our team does, but they're supposed to be the gateway drug. And so I'm very happy to hear that. All right, so next up, we wanted to kind of go a little extra, no pun intended, here. And so one of the sort of premium add-ons you can get either in the deluxe package or just as an add-on on its own, designed by EH artist Ali Artham, we have extra history playing cards. I am so flippin' pumped for this specific piece as well, because I've seen all the cards. There'll be extra history, historical figures that we've done episodes on in a specific style on the cards for the Jack, King, and Queen, and maybe a Joker or 2, who knows. And they are absolutely gorgeous. The card back, which you can see a little bit in these pictures, is phenomenal. And this ties in nicely with sort of like tying an object that seems commonplace to us today, but also through a rich history that, again, perhaps we'll be learning a little bit more about in approximately 18 minutes.
I can't wait to see the amazing work that Ali has put in these cards, because she's amazing.
Yeah.
And we have such a different style, which is always great to see another artist take a jab at something that you've done before.
It's so fun to see. And then if we keep scrolling, actually, this is some of the preview. We will be watching this episode, which actually isn't quite live yet, but will be live right when we watch it later, that David did, along with guest writer Robbie, not to be confused with Rob. We have like 9 Robs who have written for us before.
It's
So
just a
also-
collection.
Yeah. Also, we will be doing different votes for specific things throughout the campaign. For instance, this year we have the thumbtack that we use to push the calendar into the wall. I believe I have the first year's one, or maybe it's the first year. Yeah, I think it was. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this right, but like it's Walpole sitting on a thumbtack. These are Kickstarter exclusives. These thumbtacks, which you'll get to vote on which one you want, History Horse, Zoe, or the Foreshadow, you will not be able to get anywhere outside of this campaign.
I have a question.
Yes.
Matt, Foreshadow and History Horse are great. They're wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Do we really think that the audience is going to go for anything except Zoe sitting in a skull?
So here's the reason. Zoe, there were 3 different Zoe pins to vote on last year. So if you backed the calendar last year, chances are you already have a Zoe thumbtack. To hang your calendar.
You have
mine's
yes,
hanging right up there.
Right, sure.
Listen, Zoe, I tried to talk Zoe out of it. And she said, hold my catnip, and then she crawled into a skull, and then Allie drew it.
That seems right and reasonable.
I can't. Mm-hmm. All right, let's scroll down a little bit more. There'll be sort of
hold on,
art.
wait. I'm with Napoleon Bonaparte here. But why not more Zoe? See, no, that's just correct.
I was trying to balance things out.
No, there is no balance, only cat.
Apparently I failed. So yeah, here we have some of our reveals already. Obviously, Siege at Night for January. Lots of them have not been revealed yet, but will be revealed as we get through the calendar Kickstarter. Another one of David's. I love this one.
I love this one too. Yeah,
this is playing off of Steamboat Willie, essentially Steamboat Mickey. But now we have instead Parallax in that style and Arbeen style, who is a predominant and proliferator of flat Earth theory.
Man, that episode was amazing.
It's so
fun. So fun.
It's so fun.
Wild and just in every sense, you know.
And here he is sailing off the edge of the Earth.
Yep, with a basket of Newton's apples going everywhere.
Yep. And David did manage to snag a little bit of a hidden Mickey in there as well, which is very fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can keep going. I know. Oh, that would have been good. It would have been good to have a hidden Zoe. We have all this stuff. Oh boy. So this is the one that was sort of the hero shot on the preview campaign, and we were going back and forth. Geoff and Kat will be able to talk about this a little bit more about which would be the cover art this time. But this is a beautiful piece. Obviously, Ophelia.
Yeah.
But now Joan of Arc. Because we've done Joan on the cover before. I think that was another reason why we were choosing something else possibly. But this piece, I think this was one of the first pieces that was crafted by Val. And it's absolutely nuts.
It was so interesting. We did this one as a puzzle. We do several of these as puzzles over on our Twitch stream, leading up to the campaign to get a sense of which ones are going to work well as puzzles, and also to do like a little bit of an art preview, and also to generate time lapses of them as puzzles to help with the reveal process. And this one is probably the fastest anyone has gone, oh, that's Ophelia. Like seconds into doing it, it's such an iconic piece, and the art like really nails it. The homage, and then you get Joan in the middle. I love this one. This is one where when we're done with the calendar next year, I'm gonna turn this one into a wall poster. Like, I love this one so much.
Well, lucky for you, Will, because in the campaign you can actually get digital posters in the deluxe thing, which is designed exactly for you to make your own and print your own.
What?
Yes.
You don't say.
Yes, we got big digital posters, then we got little digital posters that can go on your phone wallpaper too. Those are coming up.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Safe Path by Moonlight. That's our November from David. This was a super fun one. And I think you can actually see in the Kickstarter video the piece that it's based off of, like sort of next to it.
The piece that is based on is an homage to Playing the Flute by Moonlight by Fujiwara no Yasumasa.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm saying that right. Which is this beautiful ukiyo-e type of artist, which is like painting on top of textiles. I think is silk, and or printing on top of silk, and it's gorgeous. Just go find the piece, playing the flute by moonlight, and we have changed that by the main characters are, I think, Oda Nobunaga and his Yojimbo, which was I don't remember. Hattori Hanzo. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this, and it's a little hard to see on this screen capture of a picture in low res on the Kickstarter. You'll see it better when you get your calendar, hopefully, or when you get the large scale digital prints. Is the work that has gone into showing off the textile lines.
Yeah,
right? Because
it's
normally,
really impressive.
like, you'd have to put that, like, normally the textile lines in the silk are just there because that's part of the medium. But in order to recreate an homage to the piece, it's to put the textile lines on the digital, and like it shows. It's so, I love this one too. I love all of the art, but the textile lines really show the kind of love that the artist put into these.
Yeah,
actually, that was an idea. Well, it's been something that we've been doing since the first calendar, because I wanted to like show that these were real paintings, like they were like painted on canvas, and Geoff pushed a lot, that idea in all the paintings. Like, and when we arrived to this one, I was saying this was printed on top of a silk canvas, and we should show that. And it was a back and forth process, not to make it very overbearing, and don't muddy the piece. But I think it shows that level of detail.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
All right, and then down here we've got our pledge tiers. So for just $2. You can get in and vote on whatever things are going on, and you get to see all the updates and everything. So $2 gets you in for updates,
and you get access to the pledge manager at the end.
Yes, and you get the pledge manager at the end. The $25 tier gets you the calendar with some. There's a secret here. Interesting. So you get the calendar, and you get the QR code website, and you get voting, and you get all the stretch goals for the calendar. And if you get in early, it's only $21. I don't know how many of those are
The
left.
early birds might be gone, although I'm purposely not looking at number or anything until we're done with the explanation.
That's correct. I am very much in the same boat. I'm very eager to scroll up, but we won't get there. For $45, early bird is $41. You can get the deluxe history calendar, which is the calendar and a deck of cards and the thumbtack and 2 fridge magnets, and 4 phone wallpapers and 4 digital posters and all the deluxe stretch goals.
Yep.
And the ultimate pledge, which is $65 or $61 if you're early bird, you get everything that I just said and a puzzle.
Yeah, so let me just talk about the puzzle very quickly. So last year, we did this one.
Chat spoiled something for us.
I know, don't say it yet. We're not there.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna
We
pull
won't
this
say it aloud.
Yeah, I'll just pull this up. It's 11:20.
We'll talk about the timing of it after. I am curious to see the total once we scroll back up after the explanation.
Sure.
So this was our last year's puzzle, which is hard to see. It's in the plastic, so apologies for my lights. But it was Chat Zoe. Well, there we go.
Yep.
And it is a wonderful puzzle. It is also the box design done by Simon over at the Nebula Studios is phenomenal. And the thing I really like about this, now that we have this next one for Joan, where is it at? It says puzzle number 1. And this one will say puzzle number 2. So they're actually going to be like able to be next to each other and make sense. This one was very difficult. Yeah. I don't know if you can kind of see the gradation of the brown.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of flat brown. Good luck.
I made this one with my mom, in my parents' house when I went, for coffee one day with them. And we just had it on top of the table, and they were all looking at me like with fierce hate in their eyes, like, you draw this and you don't know how to put it together. And I was like, sorry. Like,
you didn't design the pieces. Yeah,
it's your fault,
Yeah.
Tell them this year not to pick an illustration that had so much brown,
So
it was
I'm very happy that, because that was sort of like a last minute idea in the campaign last year of just, it wasn't even actually in any tiers last year. It was just an add-on you could get when you sort of went out. This time we're baking it in. This is there, you can sort of like lock it in right from the get-go, because they were just so much fun. And all of this art is so beautiful. I want to keep making puzzles, man. Like I think that we have, at this point, by the end of this campaign,
39?
what, 30 something pieces, right? Like most of which would make excellent puzzles. So
Yeah.
I think we have plenty of, great artwork.
yeah.
I spent 6 months in the first calendar painting, and in the second one I spent like 4 months, because we like streamlined the process much more.
Yeah.
And the just beautiful artwork that the new artists have put in, like is just amazing. And I think making more puzzles like is just, I want more puzzles.
Yeah, I want like a row of these things at my house. Next here is a Scholastic one. So if any teachers out there, if you're just interested in getting a bunch of calendars for classrooms, etc., at the lowest possible thing that we can sell them at, 100 for 5 calendars, basically. There's no extra hoopla in this one, but this is just sort of like for any educators out there or who want to put it into classrooms or use it for schools. That's the cheapest way we can possibly get more calendars into your hand. And then
before we explain this, we should make sure that some of them are left. Hold on.
Let's make sure. I'm sure they are.
Okay. Yeah.
Those don't go as fast. So this one is the $500 tier. Now you might be saying, Matt, David, Will, all of the Extra History team. What? And you would be right to say that. So essentially what you get to do here, and we've had great success with this in the last few years. Essentially, if you get this pledge, there's only 8 of them because we can only get that many into our schedule. You will get to work with our team, submit 3 ideas that we get to choose from and work with you. We have ultimately, just to be very clear, we do have full veto, but we'll always go back and forth with you and make sure we find something that like you are happy with in this. And we will research, write, record, animate, and post a Extra History short on that topic that we have worked with you to develop.
I just it's time to bankrupt the entire French Empire for the $500 tier from Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I love this tier so much because it's been, and I gotta say, like, some of the ones, actually, if you go scroll down a little bit, Will, there's a full playlist right underneath this tier of all of them that we've made so far. So you can kind of see like what you would be getting here, and like these were all topics chosen by the people who made the pledge level, which is just a really fun thing to do, and it's something I haven't really seen offered a lot of places, especially at it's funny, at first the price point is insane, and then I'm like, no, that kind of makes sense. But again, there's only 8 because we can only do 8.
Yep. Okay, Matt, is it time?
Real quick, let's just go down to shipping because I want to talk. I know there's some questions about that. There's just all the prices, etc. We can go through that. The stretch goals, they're coming. These are going to be added all over the place. So Kat has done, I think, a remarkable job at trying to basically parse out what we believe the pricing will be for shipping. You'll see the final version when you check out, but we wanted to make sure that the shipping cost was upfront right there for everybody for as many countries and places that we possibly could. This is an incredible, like, again, we are a very small studio. We've only done physical merch like this scale twice before, and each time we've learned. Especially, I don't know if you've been watching the news, but physical merch across oceans is a little unpredictable these days.
Would you say it's hard to sail straight there?
Yeah,
I would say various tariffs sure aren't deals, but so we're trying to, as best we can, let you know exactly what that would be. You'll obviously see the final amount when you go to check out. But these are the estimates that we have, and Kat has worked a long time to try to figure these out. So you can take a look at that, make sure that's all works for you wherever you are. And of course, you can always reach out to the campaign itself. Like, for instance, if you're not quite sure what you want based on shipping, pledge the $2 tier, get locked in there. You can always change it later and then message the campaign, and we will get back to you as quickly as we can with whatever information we can. Yeah.
I'm very happy that we, just delay the shipping cost for all, all continents and everywhere, because that's something that my family said. Next time tell them. But my mom has this idea that I'm the boss of the studio by some reason, and I could order people around, with tell Matt from your mom, just tell her.
And look, it worked. It worked.
Right, yeah, right, yeah.
It was like that. They have to fix this because and it was like, okay, mom, just chill.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready to scroll up. Let's see.
Because we're about to premiere our episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, that's a number. Let me just reload to make sure that that's correct.
I'm sure it is.
No. Yeah. That's sometimes Kickstarter's widget gets a little stuck. So currently, we've been live for 28 minutes, and you all funded us in 20 of those.
Which is twice as fast as last year.
Right. So
holy heck, thank you very much for that.
If we keep doing these, at what?
The first year was 4 hours.
Right.
The second year was 40 minutes. And this year is 20 minutes.
Right. I'm not a math scientist, but at some point it feels like we'll fund the campaign before it starts. I feel like that's like an inevitability.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Will, I don't want to block you, but
packing time.
Yeah. Callie Cat Caffeine Ranger had a great question. Can you guys make pins? Fun fact, we actually already do. Not in this campaign. This is specifically a thumbtack to put the the reason why it's a thumbtack is the actual pin like pointy bit is longer, so it can go in your wall and hold the calendar, especially on dates that like once you start flipping pages up and the top gets thicker. So it has a pin back, but it will be longer and might not feel correct on your as a pin. But over on our store, our regular store over on Nebula, we have a bunch of pins. There's so many pins that we have, and they all look really, really nice. I don't think I have any right here, sadly. Yeah. Wow. Well, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Tell you what, why don't we take a brief break from the Kickstarter? It's now 11:30. Shall we watch an episode?
I think we should.
Let's.
All right. Well, let's Okay. So
let's explain exactly how this little mini watch party is going to go.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put the episode on, but I'm gonna do a countdown because Matt and David can't hear it through my mic to them for tech reasons. So I'm gonna do a little countdown. They're gonna watch it along with us, and we're just gonna watch this episode that should be going live soon.
It is public as of now.
It is public right now. So we'll be watching this thing that you could be watching there, but you should be watching here with everyone else. And then we'll hang out and we'll ask David some questions about the art, and then we'll be moving right along. We've got a breakneck pace today. We've got some special guests coming up. Rob will be here at the top of the hour. Then Allie will be here at the top of the next hour. We're going to be swapping Matt out for Geoff, but you're stuck with me the whole time.
That's right.
I mean, what?
That's terrifying.
I'm not letting the power go to my head. Let's watch an episode. So,
all right, count us down, Will.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, my head. Where am I? Wait, where's my lectern?
Good evening, Mr. Kroll. I'm pleased to see the serum has worn off. Now it's time for a little game.
Okay, who are you? Look, if this is about Zoe's catnip business, I can explain with
This has nothing to do with your cat, Mr. Kroll. I've been watching you.
Oh, thanks. Wait, so you're subscribed on YouTube or over on Nebula? A creator-owned and operated streaming
I'm not one of your regular viewers. I am your replacement.
I'm sorry, what?
You see, I am a man with a vision. A vision and a near infinite budget of tokens for creating low-effort AI-generated history content, TM.
Oh, why could I ever get kidnapped by cool villains?
But to create my empire of slop, I must first deal with you.
Ooh, nice double entendre transition to the episode topic. I'd like to see your AI do that.
Henchman!
The game is poker. 5 cards,
high stakes. The rules are simple. If I win, you shutter extra history, making way for my data centers to drink Earth's water and convert it into listicles scraped from your own scripts.
Ooh, but what if I refuse to play and just turn this into an episode about the history of playing cards?
Do not tempt me.
Into having a good time? Great, let's go! I wanted to go full Bugs Bunny here, and David killed it.
Yeah, that's great.
Also, here's an ad for the
before I
Kickstarter.
animate it again, I gotta tell you that the Kickstarter for our History Happens Everyday calendar is live now, and if you back it early enough, you'll get quite a deal. You'll see what I mean after the episode. That is, if Zoe rescues me first. Zoe!
Your first hand, Mr. Kroll.
Thank you. Cards. Really curious things, aren't they? Take this hand. Aces and eights. The dead man's hand. Ominous.
You're not supposed to show us your cards. Henchman, redeal.
No thanks, I like these ones. Say, do you know why it's called the dead man's hand? Well, it's because infamous cowboy Wild Bill Hickok was holding this hand when he was shot dead in a saloon, creating a name and tradition. And that's because even this common, unremarkable deck emerged from a millennium of cultural evolution,
I love this image
forming
so
an
much.
interconnected story woven through the fabric of global history and lived human experiences that span centuries. Think about it. A deck of cards can fit into nearly any historical sense, be it an Old West saloon, medieval tavern full of boisterous peasants, a modern casino where a suave secret agent duels a less than scrupulous billionaire, or wherever the heck we are where an animated host is fighting against, who are you, like Darren Aronofsky? Doesn't matter. But we even place superstitious meanings on these random number generators. I mean, they are related to tarot cards after all. We actually did a whole short about that a bit ago.
Oh my Claude on a cross.
How do you make that thumbnail appear above us, boss?
Never mind that. Make a wager, Mr. Kroll.
Okay, well, I would wager that you've never thought just about how much this ordinary deck of cards, with its numbers, faces, and jokers, all got this way. Because these cards we're holding didn't just
Good ballad
spring
show there.
into existence
great.
fully formed and perfectly fanned. Rather, these suits we're playing with here are only the most recent incarnations of a developmental process that stretches hundreds of years and spans the entire globe. From China and the Middle East to Europe and on to America.
Please stop flashing your cards. Henchman, redeal us again.
But some scholars propose that the earliest evidence that we have for gaming cards can be found in 9th century China during the Tang Dynasty. Various sources reference a leaf game being played, but its specifics have been lost. Plus, the leaves themselves were probably only part of a system that also involved dice and a board. But then, Chinese drinking games also used cards that provided written rules and forfeits, and a game called Madiao still makes use of money cards, featuring various amounts of coins divvied into 4 suits. They acted as substitutes for actual currency, kind of like how these poker chips we're using today do.
Correct. Like the ones you're supposed to be wagering right now. I don't think you understand how dire your situation is.
See, around this time, card decks used in games, such as Ganjifa, were developing in Persia. The Ganjifa deck consisted of 8 suits of 12 cards, and each suit's 12 cards consisted of 10 number cards, featuring motifs such as swords, cups, coins, and polo sticks, as well as 2 court cards, the king and his advisor, the vizier. See, now this is a hand that's starting to look a little more familiar, right?
Would you stop showing me? Wait, how did you change the cards?
My show, my turf, my man. Anyway, Egyptian cards, sometimes called Mamluk cards after the ruling dynasty, followed a similar pattern, probably descending from the Persian style. And one deck actually survived from the 15th century and consisted of, what do you know, 52 cards and 4 suits. These were cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks. The sport of polo originated in Persia. As well as the 10 pip cards, there were now 3 court cards, consisting of a king, his deputy, and his under-deputy, though these cards didn't usually depict the personages on their faces. Intriguingly, though, traces of the influence of the earlier Chinese money cards can be found on Mamluk cards. They actually used their own version of the Chinese word for the highest number coin cards, myriad, meaning 10,000.
So you're saying there's a link all the way back to Chinese paper cards?
Don't encourage him.
Exactly, henchman. Everything's connected somewhere down the line. And given the steady westward travel of playing cards, it should then be no surprise that they began to appear in medieval Europe. In Barcelona in 1380, there was mention of a man described as a painter and playing card maker, and 3 years earlier, in 1377, records in the Italian city of Florence detailed a playing card ban. And more such bans start to appear throughout cities across Europe over the next 4 decades, which does a really good job charting their spreading popularity.
Of course, these bans were due to cards pretty quickly becoming associated with vice, as people liked combining playing, drinking, and gambling.
You are gambling with your very existence, Mr. Kroll, if you don't cease this stalling.
Hold on there, boss. Maybe we should let him speak. I mean, this is way more interesting than your pudding-faced Teddy Roosevelt videos.
Aw, thanks, Henchy. Now, the same year as the Florentine ban, a German monk named Johannes, living in a monastery in Switzerland, left a record describing playing cards and their various uses. The cards, sometimes described as coming from Saracens or Moors, were clearly descended from the Mamluk deck and divvied into 4 suits: swords, cups, coins, and clubs. Yeah, apparently Europeans weren't really familiar with polo, so they swapped the polo stick for a club. And a single pip card became known as an ace after the Old French as, meaning 1. The Mamluk court cards were also given a more European flavor, consisting initially of a king, knight, and page. These styles, first seen in Italy and Spain, are still popular in Southern Europe and are sometimes called the Latin suits.
Oh, like you said in your tarot deck short.
Don't make him do the thumbnail thing again. That was spooky.
Precisely. By the mid-15th century, Germany was a prominent playing card manufacturer, using processes linked to the woodcutting industry in cities like Nuremberg. Now, card decks back then were expensive, hand-painted, and larger than their modern versions. Actually, a 1379 entry into the financial records of the Duke of Luxembourg noted an expense for purchasing decks of playing cards with the same value as 8.5 sheep. Don't know why they were cutting the sheep in half for value propositions, but you know what, to each their own. Plus, German manufacturers also began to stamp their own styles on the decks. Swords, cups, clubs, and coins were replaced with Germanic pastoral depictions, like leaves, hearts, falcon bells, and acorns, though exact designs could vary, like in Switzerland. Shields sometimes replaced the heart, and roses the leaves. And the oldest surviving complete set of European playing cards, the Flemish hunting deck, created in the Netherlands in the 1470s, depicts hunting paraphernalia like dog collars and horns.
Hey, boss, you could get cards made with all your favorite stuff on them, like piranha tanks, crypto, Sam Altman, dames tied the railroad tracks.
Now that's an exciting idea. Wait, no! Stop distracting me.
I mean, what could be distracting about learning that court cards also varied in style? While the king remained, the knight was sometimes replaced by a queen, and the third card was sometimes a prince, the English word often used for the card, knave, originally meaning male child. Then in the 17th century game All Fours, a point was awarded for a winning trick that included the knave of trumps. This point was called a jack, which could also be a nickname for a common man. Later, it became awkward to have both the king and the knave start with K, so the name Jack replaced knave. Moving down the timeline, France was next to begin mass card manufacturing, synthesizing Latin and Germanic styles. The most common motifs there from the mid-15th century onward were clovers, pikes, hearts, and tiles, while the king, queen, and still knave became standard court cards.
Wait a minute. Pikes are like big spears. That's gonna be where the spade came from, right? Looks like a spearhead.
Again, A+ henchman. You want a job after I escape here, you just hit me up. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. French card makers then simplified the designs of the pip symbols and halved the 4 suits between red and black. This made cards easier to stencil, allowing mass production on the new printing presses. And it's in this late medieval period that cards transitioned rapidly from luxury handcrafted item to a widely available gaming accessory. And even as design simplified, people did start giving court cards elaborate backstories. In the late 16th century, for example, people began associating historical and biblical figures with different suits, like King David was the King of Spades, Alexander the Great the King of Clubs, Joan of Arc the Queen of Hearts, and Lancelot the Knave of Clubs. We would also be remiss if we didn't mention that colonialism also played a role in the spreading of playing cards. Native Americans received Latin suits from the Spanish in the 16th century, and the Portuguese traded them to the Japanese, eventually leading to the founding of Nintendo as a Hanafuda card manufacturing company in 1889.
No way! So you're telling me Queen Victoria could have been playing Nintendo?
Technically,
Yep.
And it was during this steady process of migration that playing cards continued to evolve, and in the 16th century, they were thoroughly embedded into everyday European life. France then introduced a tax on the manufacture of playing cards, while in England, an organization called the Mystery Makers of Playing Cards of the City of London received royal approval in 1628 with the objective of regulating playing card importation and manufacture. And that company? Yeah, that still exists today, which is a prime example of how England had its own impact on the development of the modern deck. After France taxed card makers, some moved to neighboring Belgium, where they began selling across the channel, meaning English cards followed the French model, but with innovations. Clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spades were popularized in England, with the latter two being transformed from the French tiles and pikes.
If I were playing with this old deck, I could cheat with ease.
Excellent point, Slopmonger. And actually, a few modifications in the 19th century helped out with that, since players might recognize specific cards from a dog-eared corner or a mark on the back. Manufacturers increasingly used rounded corners and elaborate designs or lithographs on the backs of the cards themselves. Numbering the edges also enabled cards to be more easily held one-handed in a fan.
Yeah, but like, what about this ace? It's all fancy.
What? You're the dealer. Don't show in the deck.
See, British law required that boxes of cards be stamped before leaving the factory to prove the tax had been paid, you know? This stamp took the form of the ace of spades, and the commissioners for stamp duties created an elaborate version of the symbol to foil forgers. Now it's just traditional. And with card making becoming bigger business than ever, you can actually start tracing much of this growth back to one man, Thomas de la Rue. Born in Guernsey in 1793, De La Rue founded a printing company that, in 1831, was given the right to print playing cards. With the Industrial Revolution well underway, De La Rue produced cards like never before. He drove smaller rivals out of business with high production runs, reducing variety and leaving his card designs as the dominant ones. And by the 1860s, we were left with a deck of cards very similar to those that we still play with today. Oh, and De La Rue's company is actually also still around as the world's largest commercial paper maker.
A huge corporation putting small artists out of business? Now you're speaking my language.
Ew. Though, on that note, the US actually did leave its own stamp on cards based off of English decks. It was an American, Louis I. Cohen, who secured the patent for first introducing the corner indices that streamlined gaming. Plus, Americans also introduced the Joker. Shocking, I know. See, in the 19th century, a card game called Euchre became popular in the US, but it required an additional trump card that outranked the two jacks used as the highest and second highest trump. Thus, the Joker came into being, though we don't exactly know why it's called the Joker. Some claim it's a bastardization of the name of the game Euchre, or the European game it may descend from, Jucker. Then this may in turn have its roots in the German word Junker, meaning young nobleman or squire, like the knave. It kind of all loops into itself. Oh, but you know, speaking of jokers, I think that sound I'm hearing means you two better duck and cover. My ride's here, chuckleheads.
No!
Enjoy playing 52 card pickup.
My precious historically significant deck of common playing cards.
Looks like you'll have to deal with that mess. Later, slot merchants. Punch it, Zoe.
Curse you, Mr. Kroll, and your team of human creatives and animated cat that are hell-bent on crafting educational videos from your human mind.
Well, extra historians, if there's one thing I'd like you to take away from my kidnapping today, it's this. AI slop sucks. But if there's two things, I think I just want us all to remember that a lot of what we think of as modern commodities have roots running deep into our shared past. And most everyday objects that we use are part of a long historical evolution. And you know, since we're talking about cards evolving through history, why not some that have evolved into extra history? That's right. This episode
And we
inspired
don't
us to
have to
become
watch
part-
the ad for the thing. That's what we're doing right now.
Well, Matt, I have interesting news on that front.
Sure.
So we were watching an episode,
Of course.
and while we were watching an episode, we hit the first stretch goal.
Okay. Yes, Kat is on the back end doing some stuff. Let's see here.
So our first stretch goal, I think we go down here a bit, is that we are going to. It's so far down. There's so
far
much
down,
art.
so many things.
There's so much good art. There's so many cool things. Okay, great. Everybody is gonna get some credit in the Nebula store
Right.
as part of
$5 for the calendar tier, $10 for deluxe tier and above. And also, yep.
And next up at $15,000 and just $4,000, we'll be doing an extra magnet in all of the deluxe and I guess ultimate tiers. And the backers will get to vote on which magnet it is. So please look forward to that imminently, I guess.
Speaking of voting, the pin vote, actually, when you hit the 10K mark, the pin vote is live now. So you can choose between History Horse, the Foreshadow, and of course, the one that's going to lose, Zoe in the Skull.
Look. I just want it so we can do the funniest tiny version of Alas Poor Yorick. I knew him well, Horatio.
But also the Nebula credit gets you, I mean, all of our stuff is in there. You could get the old puzzle if you haven't gotten the puzzle yet to keep your set complete if you're doing that. We got extra history mugs in there. Worst dads in history. This is Vlad the second. We got a whole bunch of stuff in there, Zoe plushies, etc. So that can all go towards that. Just, or any other creator. I know Patrick Williams has some sick stuff in there. I know Real Engineering, a couple others. Like, there's a bunch of good stuff.
We have a relevant Kickstarter question.
Yes.
Richard wants to know, how can I have multiples as an add-on? Because it won't let me get more than two, one from ultimate, one from the add-on. I believe, let me take a stab in the dark at this, Kat or Matt, or really anyone on the team can correct me, but I believe the answer is hang tight, the pledge manager will be your friend.
Right. I believe there's two ways to do it. One, you could just add them when the pledge manager starts at the same price that they are. And I believe the extra one. Wait, so the question was about adding more magnets outside of the package. Mm-hmm. There might be here. Let me, you know what? I should back this.
I guess probably.
Let me go through the process on my end live, and I'll be able to answer that for you.
And then we had
last year was an option. No, I think you.
I think so. So I'm gonna pledge, and I'm gonna do the deluxe tier and shipping destinations. Oh, and that's where it'll show you the shipping cost that is labeled below. You can is a drop down menu of what that shipping will cost in addition, right when you choose your package.
Richard says he can add one outside the package, but not two.
Interesting. Let me put that to the team.
Yep.
That's a good.
And then someone was asking about add-ons. Add-ons are all down here. You can get an additional calendar, a deck of cards, the exclusive fridge magnets, the Kickstarter exclusive thumbtack, and a reminder the vote for that is live right now. You can get some phone wallpapers or some digital posters, or of course you can get the extra Joan of Arc puzzle. I really like this as a puzzle. In fact, well, we only have David for 10 more minutes. I had a question for David. David, out of all of the ridiculous visual gags, I have two questions, one funny and one serious. The funny one is, out of all the ridiculous visual gags in that episode, which one was your favorite? Because you got to draw all of these ridiculous things.
It was great working in the episode. Answering right away, I think the beginning of the episode and the end of the episode is amazing because Matt made, well, the script, Robbie's script was amazing, and Matt like portraying different characters and like making voices and like all this really quick jokes were very, very fun to animate. But like when Matt, like he just called me and went like, we have to talk about this episode because this is very fun and it's very fun and I need to tell you. And then explain like the idea and it came like a little bit like, we had this idea and the moment we had it, we had to do it. Like we couldn't back off, like the moment it was written. And I love that. Like I love that we, as a studio, we can just pivot to something if it's fun and creative, and we have that, great liberty with writers and artists. That's awesome.
I want to give a shout out to David first and foremost for being so game on this thing, and then sort of talk about that sort of moving backwards. So obviously, David and I had the meeting, like he said, and I was like, this needs to feel like, what if Bugs Bunny was kidnapped by a Bond villain?
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the vibe. Right. And David nailed it through and through the entire time. In fact, I believe when I first saw the first part of it after the first week, I was like, oh, gee, like this is more than I was expecting, and I love it. The interesting part here was then I recorded my parts, of course, but then I gave it to our audio editor, Mac, who is a lovely human being, and he. I basically asked him, like, I did different voices, but I was like, I need each of these characters to have different sort of slight pitches that don't sound completely garbly. And he managed to sort of accentuate my voice in different ways that I thought was really, really nice. And shout out to Robbie and Rob. Robbie had originally written a different script, and we were working back and forth on it, like a more traditional extra history. And it was good. It was fine. And Rob and I were doing our notes, and then Robbie was like, can I try something? And I was like, yeah. And then he sent a version of that back with the 3 characters. And then it was just me, Rob, and Robbie going through and like punching it up and like writing in the jokes and all this stuff. Like the flow of it and getting the information across while there's a silly meta narrative going on felt very appropriate, especially for something that's like playing cards. Yeah. So it really was an absolute team effort to come up and get to try something different like that. And I think it was a blast.
Yeah. I also want to shout out the very difficult task that I think David once again just pointed at the fence and knocked clean out of the park, which is making all of the historical decks look visually consistent with the art style of the episode, but also retaining enough of the original historical version that we understand what is going on. I thought that was really well done. And I love, like, one of the places you can see if you go back is the difference between tiles and diamonds, right? It's not obvious, but you can see that they're slightly different symbols because we're talking about a thing that converges to a modern version. And I really liked that. But David, what was your favorite of the historical decks, right? Because like you're obviously familiar with like modern playing cards, but like was there a particular historical deck that you got to find references for that you were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and like inspired you?
To be fair, like Robbie did a very good job of putting over Trello.
All the art references in the Trello,
with all the decks and a lot of examples and so I love the Ganifa cards and the Egyptian ones. Like I tried to make a rendition that Matt he said this is amazing if you can do more of this, and also I like the Latin suits because in here in Spain we still use them. Like our cards, culturally, they're not the poker cards. Yeah. We have the Baraja Española, which is the Spanish deck, and we still use those signs that that the deck has. Actually, there's a shot in which I translated. I mean, I put it in Spanish. How we called every suit of the cards, and yeah, we still play with to this day. Like it hasn't changed in like 200 years.
Yeah, so, it's so interesting because the Americans are like, yeah, our country's getting old. We're 250 years old this year, and the Europeans are like, our decks of playing cards are older than you.
Yeah,
like,
right.
What?
No, it's super interesting, and like, I don't know. I love that episode so much. Side note, more questions that are coming in real quick. One, people are asking, I see Callie Cat was asking some questions about like, how does it work? Are there different items to pay for? Again, the way that it sort of functions is there's different packages. There's the standard, which is just a calendar, the deluxe, which has some things, and the ultimate, which has all the things. Or you could just pledge $2 to get access to buying the specific small items. Like the playing cards, for instance, are $15. And also on that note, I forget who asked about the magnets, but Cat has now changed it so you can add an additional 2 magnets instead of just 1 pack of magnets. The reason we can't do more off the cuff is it then starts to affect the estimated shipping cost.
Got it.
It's not an automatic system that's like, oh, there's 12 magnets in this box, that will cost X. This is all kind of hand done. Again, we are a small studio working with small distributors. So we can't accurately give the shipping for how much does 37 magnets cost at this point with a puzzle and these other, like it'd be too in the weeds. Yep. So I think in the pledge manager, you'll be able to add more if you really want, but then the shipping price would switch there as well.
Yep.
I think was that. I think. Oh, and I also had someone. Keegan Decker said something during the episode that shocked me, and I wish wanted to know. This has nothing to do with the campaign. They said they met their husband from extra credits, like from watching it, and I'm just curious if they're still here, how that happened.
Yeah, that's very cool. We got one more question. Will the Joan of Arc puzzle be available on your merch store?
It will, however, the Kickstarter is the only way to guarantee getting the stuff before like the holidays, right?
Yep.
Like we're going to try our darndest to get all this stuff in the store so it could get delivered by then for like people outside the campaign. But that's kind of this plays into another question that Kat also asked, Kat in the chat, not EC Kat. Essentially that why don't we do this Kickstarter later? Like who's really thinking about their calendar for next year in July? And the reason is we have so much to do to build this thing and to get it all made and shipped and to ensure that tariffs don't mess with us and try to get it on the boats over here in time for, to deliver for the holidays, etc. Like, so we have to keep doing it earlier and earlier every year to help ensure that.
Yep.
That's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, it's not necessarily intuitive. You're like, why would I? But it's not even Christmas in July yet, right? Like we're so far out, and that's why lead time on manufacturing is longer than you probably think it is.
Actually, as one of the illustrators in extra credits, there's many times, well, all the time, Geoff or Matt comes over and said, "Could you start with the Christmas card?" We're in the middle of August, and it's just the sun is trying to kill you. It's like, okay, I'll get into festive.
Are you not in the holiday spirit, David? It's 104 degrees outside.
So I have to come up with like I just put the aircon very, very chilly and put all the penguin stuff plushies that I have around me.
Yeah,
totally.
Yep.
To make it Christmassy and to get inspired.
Well, it is almost time for us to say farewell to David. So let's before Rob gets in here and we have to do a complicated switch off. David, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for doing all of the amazing art for the episode and for the Kickstarter. One last thing, we haven't shown all the art yet, but could you tell us, without spoiling anything, which artist was the most fun to emulate this year?
Oh, interesting.
I'm actually finishing one of the 4 pieces that I have in the calendar, and this
is one that you suggested, if I remember correctly.
And we usually Geoff and Rob put up like a huge trailer with like a lot of like historical painting trends, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then was like, well, you're the artist, just let us know more artists. And I was like, okay, how many do you want? And so for this one, it's for July, and Geoff said it has to have summer traits, and I always push Spanish artists when I can. And this one is a Spanish artist, and it's one of my favorites because it captures just a tip. So maybe could guess it. It captures light beautifully. It's called
we can't spoil what it is yet.
Yeah, but no, I think you've given everybody a great taste. Well, David, thank you so much for joining us today. It is always a lovely pleasure to have you on. And I will hope that you have an excellent rest of your evening time zones, y'all. And speaking of time zones, as we let David get back to his
bye, David.
Bye, David. We're gonna bring in another guest who is just joining us from yet another time zone. This is the part where you vamp while I do this.
This is the part where I vamp about us being at $13,534 for the Kickstarter with 213 backers in just an hour. That's bonkers to me. Every time we do this, you never know.
Yep, I absolutely agree.
You never know, and you have all blown this out of the park. I think, are all the early birds gone? I'm kind of like going through. The regular early birds are still here. The deluxe early birds are gone.
Yes. The deluxes and the ultimates are all gone. All that remains is the
standard.
Is the standard early birds. That's correct. And we're
early bird ultimates sold out. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, lovely. Well, we're having.
Are we having a technical difficulty?
Say it with me, chat. We're having technical difficulties. But tell you what, while I'm working on technical difficulties, I know that I need to give Brad and Janet, extra historians, if you're unfamiliar, YouTube, Janet, Twitch, Brad. There is a long story. We won't go into it, but Janet.
It has to do with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
You know.
This is a great question. Cali Cat wants to know, what are our favorite episodes of Extra History?
Whew. I think personally lately it's funny because we do so many that like you have them in your mind for the 2 or 3 months that you're working on them, and then you have to jettison them to make room for the next one. I think my favorites so far were actually the one that jumps to my mind right away is our Secret Society series. Mm-hmm. That was very, very fun. In fact, we did a panel over at MagFest a couple years back, and we did a game of Cult the Following, which is a really fun card game that's like what if Cards Against Humanity but creative. And you basically get to design, like it's basically like interactive improvisation. And basically the audience got to ask a panel of us. I believe it was me, Jordan, Allie, and Will. Maybe Red was there too, where we were all cult leaders. We had to design cults off of prompts, and then the audience had to ask us questions. And then at the end of the panel, they got to choose which cult to join. And the winner of that got to have their cult secretly inserted into one of the episodes of our Secret Societies series. I believe that is in episode 4 of the Secret Society series, and Will won. And Will, I believe his cult was named the Cult of the Business Corgi, because he was into big business, but he was also wearing a corgi kigurumi at the time. And so now if you go back to that episode and find it, there is that reference in there.
If you've ever been to MagFest, I don't need to explain why I was wearing a corgi kigurumi. And if you've never been to MagFest, I cannot explain why I was wearing a corgi kigurumi. So just go with it.
Also, speaking of this real quick, we are actually going to be, Jeff and I will be at, and James will be at Gen Con this year. And on Thursday, if you happen to be there at 4 or 4:30, we're doing that panel again, where we will have a panel of some EC folks. I believe it's called Extra History is Not a Cult is the name of the panel. And we'll have some of us and some friends, and we're going to be playing Cult again with that same prize of hiding the winning cult in an Extra History episode. So if you happen to be in Indianapolis in a week and a half or whatever, come say hi at that panel.
Yep. We're continuing to have everyone's favorite midday technical difficulties getting one of our distant friendos on. So mods, if you would do me a favor and post the link to the puzzle. So we thought it might be interesting to let all of you collaborate, just like we collaborate, on something that relates to this. So we have for your viewing pleasure a puzzle. This is a 1,000-piece version of the Joan of Arc art, which you've seen. You can go up here in the upper left-hand corner. The mods are posting it here. This section is locked. I'll give you a freebie. This is the watermark, the Extra History watermark, but it's 1,000 pieces ready to go.
Also, I've just been informed that 2 of the 500 tiers have already been claimed in the first hour and 6 minutes. So that's wonky. Number go up. So does anyone else have any questions about the campaign while you are jumping in here to work on this puzzle collaboratively? And I love this program, by the way. I love that we're able to do these puzzles here. And I believe, Will, this program records the movements of the puzzle pieces, and therefore we end up using these things as like cool little gifts at the end in the campaign.
Yep. Exactly. So we get like a full time lapse of this.
Now, our physical puzzle, this will not be 1,000 pieces. I believe it'll be around 500.
Yes, this one is harder. I made this one harder because, well, there's 3 chats worth of you and not like you and 3 family members gathered around a kitchen table. Also, Twitch chat has an unfair advantage. They did this one already. So,
there we go.
And you have the box art. So I feel no shame at all in making it harder. I will tell you for free, though.
Found the logo.
Yeah. All of the pieces are right side up. You're welcome.
Yeah. Also, Kyle Matthews, yes, please do come say hi at Gen Con.
Absolutely do that thing.
Yeah, we'll be there Thursday. I believe Geoff has I might be moderating a panel that Geoff is doing. He'll be able to talk more about that on Friday as well, about board game design.
Yep.
Okay. I just don't know the time of that one off the top of my head.
Hit, blah, blah, blah. All right.
Hi, Barry the Berry.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
To the Kickstarter live stream.
Matt, thank you so much for your gracious vampitude while I bring in someone whose work many of you are familiar with, though maybe you don't see his face so often. Say hi, Rob.
There's his face. Can we hear Rob? Speak for us, Rob.
You can now, I'm sure.
Yes.
There it is.
Indeed we can. Hello.
Mr. Robert Rath in the...
I was muted as per instructions.
There we go. Good. Rob is nothing if not precise in his implementation.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Though I clicked last year's video link, that was the problem.
Listen, I wasn't going to put you under the bus. I was going to say it was technical difficulties. I understand that.
I was the technical difficulties.
Listen. Not everyone uses these things multiple times a week to set up our various live streams over on the Extra Credits YouTube and Twitch.
For those of you who do not know, Robert Rath is our illustrious lead writer for Extra History and has been for a very, very, very long time. Pretty much everything, 90% of everything you've seen and loved here has been things that he has touched, so or written. So and this calendar and elements around it are no different. Yeah, Rob, we are slowly, not even slowly, very quickly churning towards like the 3rd stretch goal at this point. Or second, I think.
We are less than $450 away from our $15,000 stretch goal. And just as impressive, we just passed an hour. There are 230 backers. Like the dollar number is always like great. That is how we get to make calendars and make stuff and send it out to all of you, and people want the things that we're making. But one of the things that really does it for me is how many of you are interested in this stuff at any level, right? Like it is really heartwarming to see that many people want to like support this cool idea that we had 3 years ago and are now doing. We've learned every time, and it's getting better and better and better.
Also, Alex says he looks like the guy from the Extra Context videos.
How would you know? He's not
very
surrounded.
Closely related.
Yeah.
He's not surrounded by Warhammer paraphernalia. How could you? How could you tell?
No, we're in our summer visit to relatives. So I'm coming from Vancouver, Canada today. So, which is a lovely city.
Yeah.
Wonderful place.
Rob, before the stream today, I woke up early because we were hard at work on all of our little angles of this, of the Kickstarter process and the calendar, etc. And one of my jobs is, after Rob has completed going through and finding the dates for the special images that link to our videos, etc. Because I am the keeper of all of the media on my side, I go through and I start pulling the episodes that we can then pull images from to put on the calendar. The dates this year are pretty fun. Like there's also something I really appreciated, and I don't think I don't know if it's because like we're linking to 1 or 2 of the newer series or something like that, but there was something really fun about, like, especially maybe in a month or like between months, like the end of one month and the beginning of another, there's a like you can almost follow a path of a specific story based on the episodes, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. I think last year was the one where we did sort of the advancing dates towards the Pearl Harbor attack.
Yep.
And that was great. We have a series coming up on the Kent State shooting, and there's like a bit of that in this calendar, with the U.S. invasion of incursion into Cambodia and like that kind of thing, and sort of seeing how things develop over time. And that's what's really fun to use. I'm always talking about trying to use the medium or the format in the best way possible to tell a story. And that's true like on YouTube or like, whatever, but it's true in the calendar too, is you want to get the idea of like the proximity of certain things to each other if they're interesting or notable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. As someone who recalls dimly the days of sitting in a temp learning about AP US history, it is occasionally difficult to put into like real context how long some of these lasted, right? Because you get like the flashbulb version, right? You get like, here is this thing, all of it, all at once, and it's all just like this event, but you don't get like on this day this happened, and then 3 days later this other thing happened, and on the fourth day this thing happened as a result of the first two. Like that is such a relatable thing.
Yeah, and sometimes it's surprising when you do that how long it is between certain events. And sometimes you get surprised by how quickly, things happened. If you did like a calendar, there was a really good Twitter account for a really long time called World War II in real time, which did like, it was tweeting like multiple tweets a day, like every day of the war, some event. And, if you followed it, it was really eye-opening to be like, the Battle of Stalingrad has ended. And you're like, we started that months ago,
Yeah.
So it's always fun to use the calendar in that way. And I always like to get a variety of dates, right? So one day you're doing ancient history and the other day you're doing 20th century. And, it really does just make you think about how everything that's happened in history has been on a big spherical chunk of rock that is spinning its way through the cosmos.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Carl Sagan's pale blue dot speech lives rent-free, burned into my soul, I think that's like working with extra credits and extra history. That is like the one thing I think that stuck with me in a very real way is that all of this happened on this pale blue dot suspended in a ray of sunlight.
Real quick, Stargirl asks, how do we do the puzzle on screen? Do we need to pay? I am broke. No, you do not need to pay. If a mod could put the link back in the chat so it is refreshed, that would be lovely. You can click that and then move it around. Also, that brings up an extra, I can't stop saying the word extra, a very good point, an extra point, one might say. If you are here and vibing and just like the channel but have no money for a calendar to support or anything like that, that's totally A-okay. We love that you're here. You being here and being one of the people watching and going through this with us and watching the videos, etc., is a huge help. The other thing you can do, if you are so inclined, is just share the campaign on your socials. If you can't or for whatever reason aren't able to partake, please just share it with folks, because maybe there's people down the line that can also do it too, and maybe it'll get in front of someone who didn't know it existed, and it'll be one of their favorite things.
Right, and one of the things that you are doing by being here is helping us appease the algorithm. All hail the algorithm.
All hail.
Yeah, all hail the algorithm.
And you can help the puzzle go faster.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, the puzzle's going pretty fast for being 1,000 pieces. It also helps that this piece of art is so richly colored with so much detail, right? You can see that that everyone immediately like got Joan's face, and they were like, "All right, this is Joan's face," and here's her hand holding the flagpole, and they were like, "This is Joan's dress," and then we've got the fields of flowers and the stuff.
Val absolutely crushed this. So happy to be working with Voodoo Val. We became friends through the convention circuit, honestly, and her work. She's been doing work for all sorts of places, and I caught her working with a friend of the show, Jasmine Bular, on all her stuff. So yeah, phenomenal artist.
Yep. Can
I do a minor all hail the algorithm tangent?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I've been in Canada visiting family. I love Canada, wonderful country. But like, some of my in-laws that live up here kept talking about how they had taken a car trip out to a place called Cultist Lake, and I'm like, Cultist Lake, and they kept saying it. I'm like, Cultist Lake, though. It's called Cultist Lake, and I finally had to ask, like, hey, is this what you're saying? They're like, no, it's Cultists Lake.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, that's different than
it's
what
funny.
I was like. But we did eat at a restaurant that was owned by a cult there, so.
How do you know but actually yes that? Like, I don't. Okay.
I was more interested in the lake when it was Cultist Lake. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I was like, this is. I'm gonna get an episode out of this.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of episodes, Rob, there's been some asking in the chats across the way for what possibly one of your favorite Extra History episodes has been. And while you answer that, I would like to ask chat across the 2 YouTube channels, Credits History, and of course then Twitch, what their favorite Extra History episodes are, because they always ask us, and I want to know what theirs is.
And I'm going to give Rob just a little more time to think about which of his children you've asked him to tell is his favorite, by letting you all know that we did just cross $15,000 in just over an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, it's running for 30 days.
Thank you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you. We just doubled our goal in an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Little
wacky.
Absolutely wild. Rob, please regale us with a tale, if you would.
Oh man, that's I have a hard time picking a favorite anything, to be honest. I'm one of those people. One that I always really like the kind of weird dudes in history type ones. I'm very proud of that short series in general. I just love every episode of it. A lot of times I like the ones that I go and find someone to write, especially because it's not like my writing. So I really love the one about Goodwin Wharton. That was when I did the weird dudes in history short, and I was like, I need to go get specifically. We have a guest writer, Duncan, who's very good with that kind of thing, and I'm like, I need to get Duncan to write this because it's so good. I'm just very proud of the 1918 flu pandemic, especially the complete that came out. The fact that we did that in 2018 and it was so vital for people. It's something I'm frequently, even kind of relatives that don't watch the channel generally will often talk to me about how they went and watched that during the pandemic and it helped contextualize things for them. So I think in the end, that's probably my favorite, the one that I'm most proud of. I looked at Viking Expansion again the other day and I was like, wow, this is really good. for like one of the first ones I did. I was very proud of it and how we pulled that one together. I really like the Angkor one as well because I went to Angkor and could pull on like the experience of being there, and Policing London because that's like my personal little obsession.
It's very fun.
I love the Policing London series. Yeah, Jack Shepherd, Jonathan Wild, Policing in London. That's my personal favorite. I really loved this year. I really loved we ended up renaming it, so I'm forgetting the exact London.
We had London
by
After
Night,
Dark,
London Horrors. Yeah,
London Horrors.
That's it.
Or Victorian.
It was
horrors.
originally Victorian Horrors.
Speaking of the algorithm,
because I just I love that. I mean, that whole thing, like press publications and the press and crime, again, is like one of my favorite little pet subjects. And it was great to get into that. And the way that feeds into fiction, I think, is not something that people realize like quite so much, that so much of how we perceive crime and the justice system is filtered through fiction. And a lot of that fiction is kind of taking something real and just going off somewhere completely imaginary with it, right? But then that becomes part of how we filter reality, right? And I can't. I love that subject. I would love to explore it more. But and one of the reasons that it's really important that we have our Patreon backers and the Kickstarter is that it allows us to go in these little narrow alleys that might be a little bit off the beaten path, and not just sit there every single time going, is this going to hit on the algorithm, or is it okay taking a risk?
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, that's a really great point, Rob. Like things like the calendar and you all supporting it along with Patreon, along with Nebula, along with all the other different ways, real and YouTube memberships, etc., are the reason why we can do things like that, are the reason why we feel comfortable enough to put up, do the extra history complete on like the Haitian Revolution, because like things like that, while super important and should be taught far more, the algorithm does not reward. And so only through support and doing extra projects like this, are we able to keep doing things like that. It's very, very fun. Side note, I was seeing a question about some gaming stuff from Ranger. Ranger, tune in approximately whenever this stream is done to Design Club. It'll be coming right after this when they switch over to some game stuff over on the Extra Credits channel. I'm sure they'll be talking about that.
Thanks for volunteering me to talk about a news story I haven't read about.
Sorry. Normally I would say we do it on breakfast, but Games for Breakfast is off for 2 weeks because of travel. So
yeah,
I throw it to you and Geoff.
Thank you.
A couple good favorites. Obviously, I'm looking at sort of the chats all throughout here. Catherine the Great's one. Someone called out John Brown. Social called out the John Brown series. I love the John Brown series.
Yeah, me too.
That's one of my absolute favorite. Book Dragon also mentions Third Century Crisis, totally not just because the catchy song that will not get out of my head. That was one of my absolute favorite things.
I think one of
I would put John Brown up there, actually, now that you mentioned. That's partially also because I had a history professor at University of Hawaii who was a specialist in John Brown. And because of this, I had heard him lecture on what eventually became his book, but I finally got to read his book that he had gotten out just a few years before he passed away. He'd been working on it like his whole life. Yeah. And it was really great to take Professor McGlone's work and integrate it into our series in a way of honoring him. It was really wonderful.
Also, really lovely to hear RM Strong say that one of their favorites so far was the Sitting Bull series, because that I felt really, really strongly about as well. And that's such an interesting, there's something, I think, Rob, you and I have talked about this before, but there's something so interesting when we have our patrons get to vote on topics, and then we sort of mold those topics into what the actual series will be. And Sitting Bull was super important to me, but also it falls into that history, especially for the algorithm, that like everyone who's gone, I can only speak for the US education system, like people know who Sitting Bull is and one or two things about the very sort of like baseline, like cliff notey of a cliff notey thing, and not the whole story. The whole story is fascinating and important, but in topics like that, I feel like sometimes people don't click them because they see, oh, Sitting Bull, I already know that, right? Like it's just that level of like familiarity versus like you might like. So again, and that's on us to sort of like make sure that we can communicate that we're giving more. But Sitting Bull is a great series that I feel like was only made possible by folks like you who support stuff like this. Yeah.
I also really loved
Frederick the Great. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Will.
Christmas Truce.
Oh yeah.
Christmas
classic.
Truce. Yeah. Christmas Truce is well, like I love. There is so much of history that is occasionally reminding us that people have been people as long as people have been people. Right. And what I really like are the moments that remind us that that is both a good thing and sometimes a bad thing, right? That like, we've always had problems and there have been like some terrible things that have happened over the course of human history. But man, do I love when we get like, and on that day, this beautiful, wonderful, once in a lifetime kind of moment happened.
On the opposite of that, I think that the Christmas Truce is my favorite Christmas episode. Yeah. But it's I did it so long ago at this point. Like I've been the head writer here 8 years. Yeah. And I think that was before I came on as head writer. So it was like almost a decade ago. But I have just always had a really special place in my heart for the Eggnog Riot.
Eggnog Riot's
that is
great.
That's a very like people are people no matter when thing as well, in sort of the opposite way. Like,
Yeah.
Not necessarily a nice way, more a stupid way.
Totally.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I just saw, where was it? Am I okay after my kidnapping? Yes, I am fine. I am a little chafed from the ropes, but luckily I am a cartoon.
Also, it turns out that Zoe is a really great getaway driver and not so great at obeying the laws of the road.
Yeah. Brody asked a question. After the 30 days of this campaign, where else can we get the cards and the calendar and things? They will be available in the store over on our store over on the Nebula store. So the link to our store is at the end of every video. It is in every part of our channel. You can go find that very easily. If you're watching this, I'm sure there's a link somewhere, even a rail underneath it showing where our store is.
Yeah.
But the only place that we can guarantee that you'll get this before the holidays is from the Kickstarter. We are working to see what we can do about getting the fulfillment in fast enough to get it in the store before the holidays. But if you want this thing guaranteed, this year, the Kickstarter is the safest place to do it. Yeah. Let's go back to campaign for a second. We're at 15,797 with 252 backers. We got 34 left of the early bird baseline.
Yep. And all of the other early birds are sold out. We also only have 7 of 8 of the Make Your Own History left.
Yep. Just looking through. Oh, mine is, I gotta refresh. Refresh.
Reverse.
So we're trucking along.
Seems like the ultimate is very popular this year.
The ultimate is very popular. So it's funny because the campaign, like the calendar, is the centerpiece, right?
Right.
I think this year though we have the coolest other things alongside it.
I am incredibly proud of the card deck.
Yeah, Allie, who will be joining later this stream, who illustrated those, it's so good. They're so, I cannot wait. As someone who plays a lot of card games, and as someone, you know what game I cannot wait to play with it? I forget if I've talked to either of you about this. The Gang.
No.
Has anyone? Oh my God. Easily the best card game based on poker principles to come out in the last, I don't know, 50 years. It's so good. It's what if Texas Hold'em, but cooperative?
Okay.
It's
neat.
Wonderful. Check out The Gang anywhere. But like, I want to just switch out my deck in that game for this deck because it will be so much fun to do. Yeah, I love the cards, the puzzles. I'm so psyched we're doing puzzles like actually. It's like having sets.
It's surreal to me that a random idea that I had based on a thing that I'd seen on the internet turned into a tradition as part of the Kickstarter, turned into a physical puzzle that people are spending their hard-earned dollars on. That's wild to me because we started it when we saw how much fun you all were having with puzzles like the one that everyone's doing right now. Right?
Yeah.
And then we were like, hey, what if we did an actual physical puzzle? And then Matt stepped in and was like, actually, among my 10,000 hats, I'm also an expert in what makes a good puzzle, and gave us great guidance on that. And then we had a physical puzzle.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that we're kind of able to take these swings, and you all let us do so. With the ability, the support is why we get to do cool stuff like this outside of the channels, which is really lovely.
Yep, absolutely. I'm looking for our tag.
Oh, I was like, where'd the chat go? I haven't scrolled down in forever. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was like, it's not moving.
We do want to apologize, chat. There are more of you in more places than normal, so we're bouncing around a bit between chats and trying to make sure that we catch all those messages. And if we don't get to yours specifically, it's either that we don't think we have a good answer that can be succinct, or we missed it.
So right now, I just got an update from Kat about the votes for the push pin for the thumbtack. It will shock no one that Zoe is in the lead in 50% of the votes, followed by the Foreshadow at 38.5. The Foreshadow, very good at showing up like right at the end to really like to nail it down. And sadly, History Horse only has 11.5. Cat goes R.I.P. History Horse. There's still plenty of time. I feel like
History Horse is one of the old school memes, right? Like Horse and Beach Ball feel like God.
Horse is classic. Horse has been with the show since before any of us have been with the show.
I know. Horse and Beach Ball are both older than us.
Yeah.
But like
how dare you, Blue Bricks? How dare you? Hello.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh, look at this. Spatial says something very nice here. Playing card deck announcement, coordinating with the extra 2 playing cards episodes, one of the best ideas you've all in a while. Love me that stuff for the culture. Thank you so much. That's very nice.
Yeah. Hexnake, Walpole. Zoe is quite iconic. It is true.
Yeah.
It is known. Matt.
I like this one from Corey. Consume.
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be consume, but I like it.
Absolutely. Indeed they are, Geoff. Matt, could you, before we get Geoff in here and swap out, because it's almost that time, because believe it or not, we've been on for an hour and a half.
That's insane to me.
Right? No, time is wild. Could you cover for me ever so quickly while I go and refresh my beverage?
I can. Rob, what did you think about the Odyssey? Did you see it?
Oh God,
I have not. We have tickets. We have tickets for next week.
Perfect. Okay, then we won't discuss that at all.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a little hot cold with Nolan, to be perfectly honest.
Same.
But I feel like this is going to be a hot one. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. It's worth your time. Brody asked a question. What's another thing with the pin? How does that work again? Essentially, when the campaign broke the first stretch goal, the voting opened up for anyone who pledged at any level. You can vote on what the pin or the thumbtack that we produce that will hold up the calendar. 2 years ago, it's going to be hard to see because we're tiny, but Walpole, I believe, on the thumbtack one, he's sitting on a little thumbtack here. It's hard to kind of see him, but he is. And that's a longer push pin so it can hold it in the wall. And when the calendar, start flipping pages up, pop that in. Zoe won last year, and now that'll be this year. It's basically the Kickstarter exclusive item you will not be able to get in the store. If you want the thumbtack to hang the calendar, that is Kickstarter only. And the voting, it's the link to it is in the updates for once you've backed it, there'll be an update section that you can go see. Ranger, off topic. Have you guys seen the LARPing trend, and what would you think of a LARP channel LARPing y'all? I don't know how you would LARP us. The stat blocks alone, I feel like, would be insane.
With mine, you just have some like redheaded hand puppet that like interrupts the stream every once in a while.
Yeah.
My daughter is safely downstairs this year. I don't think we'll have a jump in appearance.
Wait, are we talking about small dev jump scares? I feel like we're about to talk about small dev jump scares.
Real quick, can we go, because there's some questions about the pins. Can we go to the page and then I'll jump off and trade out with Geoff? Go to the page showing the pins, what the options are, because we were talking about them.
Absolutely. We can certainly do that.
There they are. So those are the ones that everyone who backs this Kickstarter can vote on, essentially. That will be what holds up your calendar. They're all adorable. I love them so much. I think I just really have a soft spot for History Horse. I'm gonna vote for History Horse.
I like the horse, though. Yeah. I would probably vote for the Foreshadow, because I also love the Foreshadow.
We need to get Foreshadow back in more. I think we can. I think we can do it in the rest of this year, at least one series.
Yeah.
All right, I should get out of here, right, Will, so we can get Geoff in?
Yeah, Jeff's not in the waiting room yet, but that's okay.
Oh, well, as soon as he is, I can bounce, because then I'll start doing some back-endy things.
Yeah, we are, the whole team is on deck today. Even the ones you don't see here are hard at work, updating the Kickstarter page, answering questions, updating social media, doing stuff like that. We're at $16,422. We've been live for 96 minutes.
Geoff is asking if you cannot see him.
I see.
Oh, no, now I can. Great, excellent. I had to refresh a thing. I will. All right, Matt.
Yeah. Can you make us big in the cafe again, and then I'll jump out?
Yeah. When. Oh boy. Hold on. I gotta do like 3 things now.
Whoa! Seriously, everybody, thank you so much. Whenever we do these things, and you're going to be hanging out for much longer than I am here, we never know how they're going to go. We have hopes, and we work really hard, and the entire team comes together and does a bunch of extra work on top of all of the other extra work we do. And it is incredibly heartwarming that you are all sort of taking to this sort of annual tradition and coming at it harder and faster every time with all of your support and well wishes and kind words. So thank you very much. We'll be talking to you for the Will, Rob, Geoff, Allie, a bunch of other folks will be talking to you for the rest of the day. Then please stay tuned after this and head over to the Extra Credits channel where will be tossing at the end of this to go to Will and Geoff's talk show, Design Club Live, which they are going to be talking about a whole bunch of gaming stuff.
We're actually talking about crunchy historical games. So if you like history and gaming,
there you go.
Come on over. We're going to talk about that.
Until the next time I speak with you, I will go give Zoe lots of pets and scratches and treats. Rob, thank you so much for joining us as well. David, thank you for in the ether, wherever you are, for joining us. Will, thank you for running a immaculate stream. A immaculate stream. And yeah, everybody keep enjoying, keep pledging, keep doing the things, share it all around. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye. Whoop. All right, he's gone.
I would just like to point out that we have hit a massive milestone in that our Kickstarter is now 23,340 Canadian dollars.
Wow, that's, oh, because you're in Canada, so you're going to get
in Canada, so I opened it up to see, like, what's the progress? Oh, that's weird.
Yep, it will. Yes, it does do that. All right, let me get a Geoff in here. Hold on. First, I can make him a disembodied voice, and I can do that first. No. Interesting. Okay. We're having, once again, technical problems, but don't worry about that because I have... So, chat, I'm gonna level with you all. I'm 100% gonna level with you all. This is me giving you the keys, right? This right here is me jingling keys. Look at the enrichment. Look at the enrichment for the enclosure. Look at it.
Man, that is going fast.
Well, so ahead of time, I shared the link to this puzzle with the mod so that they could distribute it to all of you when the time was right. And they were all like, Will, why do you hate us? Why is it 1,000 pieces? And I said, because I'm going to give you all the picture, and there's 3 chats working together on this. It won't take that long. And they were like, no, it's going to take forever. And I was right once again.
It's really mesmerizing. Mm-hmm. You just like...
I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Wow.
When we get done, I'll show everyone the time lapse, what the time lapse looks like. They're quite... It's very interesting to see how, especially because before they figured out where this flag went, it like bounced all over the place. It'll be very interesting to see because the way it works is every time a puzzle piece touches down, that is a snapshot. That's a move. So like if you're working on like a piece off on the side and then it moves in, it'll show all of those. And because this flag moved around so much, I think that'll be quite interesting.
It's a gorgeous piece of art too.
It really is. Like I was mentioning earlier, this is the puzzle that of all of the things that we've done, aside from Starry Night, which doesn't really count because you see Starry Night and you're like, oh, that's Starry Night. Like it's not right. It's this is one of the ones where someone has gone, oh, that's Ophelia.
Yes.
Because of these flowers right here in the upper right hand corner. He's tipped off someone in chat. Also, it should surprise no one that there's a bunch of art nerds in our community. There's a bunch of nerds in our community, and that's really wonderful. Nerds of all different kinds, and yeah. Will we share the finished GIF thing? Yes, probably. I will. Well, I will give it. I will make sure that it gets to Kat and that she has the option to fit it in. Although I know Kat, if you've never worked with Kat, has a far more complete understanding of the way all of our socials work than I do. I do one social. I post on my Blue Sky. That's it. And Kat has like this command station with like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky and YouTube, everything. And I'm just like, how's your brain not kerplode? And she's just very good at it. I cannot comprehend.
It's the Watchmen Ozymandias, like,
yeah,
bank of TVs, each showing a different news station.
I love how there are so many different people you could have referenced, and instead you referenced Ozymandias. I like it. I love it. I love Watchmen.
I love that graphic novel. What can I say?
Yes, it is an incredibly good graphic novel that comes with attendant warnings for being incredibly dark, but also like necessarily dark. It's a kind of story that needs to be dark to make its point. It's not like what I like to call the Attack on Titan problem, where there's a story that's just like needlessly gory and like over the top for the sake of itself.
Yeah, or like mid-run Game of Thrones kind of.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Absolutely. Clearance a reference to my stream PC. That's true. That is very true. It is just a reference to my stream PC, which is named Ozymandias. Because look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. No. I had another question for Rob that I was going to ask to Vamp to fill time. And it wasn't going to be about Warhammer stuff, although congratulations are in order to Rob.
Oh, thank you.
For those who may not know, in one of his many other incredibly talented hats, Rob also writes for Black Library, and his sequel to his much beloved novel will be coming out in the near future.
Yep. Yeah. Sometime.
Sometime.
It'll get announced 2 weeks ahead, like the sale of that. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it about the World Cup?
Wait, there was a World Cup?
Massive World Cup fan this time.
Excellent.
Round.
Yeah.
Well, actually, every time around, I end up watching. I don't generally watch a lot of sports in general, but there's something about the Olympics and the World Cup that I just can't. I find totally irresistible.
Yeah,
there's something about like national teams.
Yeah.
And kind of like global competition. I just love.
I was just rooting for Hatsune Miku's global journey, right? Like just, Hatsune Miku just making it all the way around the world. That was really all I was hoping for.
That was a fun meme. I was a little crushed by the Norway defeat.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm just happy to see a sport played well. I missed the England-France game, which sounds like it was the one to watch.
I mean, talk about a grudge match that's been centuries in the making.
Oh, but also just so many goals scored versus the final, which I was happy with the result, but was just such a grind.
Yeah. We got a great question from chat from Thunder Heavy Arm. What was the hardest series to write for?
Oh, good question. I mean, none of them are easy. I think I feel like there was one that was emotionally just real rough.
I mean, we've talked about that. We're doing a series on Kent State, which can't.
It was difficult, but like the first episode of the Tyrant series with Leopold. I mean, we actually like decided that would be an anthology because I started working on Leopold in the Belgian Congo, and I was like, I don't think we should do, multiple episodes with this for the sake of my mental health and the artists. Also, was when I started doing getting together art assets for it. I was like, oof,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's, literally pictures of mutilated people. And let's see, so that was tough. Jewish Pirates was a hard one because some of the books that I was relying on ended up being unreliable. I just sort of there's a time, especially when you've read a lot of history books, there's a point where you start reading something and you're like, something about this doesn't smell right.
Yep.
And you start having to look at other sources and dive into, the endnotes and the footnotes. And then you start being like, I don't think that a lot of the conclusions in this book are supported.
Yeah.
And that was the book that I was going to build the series around. This book called Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean, which some parts of it are fine, and some parts, like the parts on sin on race, are real, it's very much taking too much out of small historical mentions.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of dive in and expand my research pool with that one, and it turned out okay in the end, but it was that was a difficult stretch. And let's see. 30 Years War was hard until I came to the framing device that we used. Because it was sort of a man, this is really big. What did I get myself into? How am I going to talk about this in any way that we can do in 5, 10-minute episodes? And then getting to the framing device of let's just talk about the general trends of this and how so many people died in such at a time when the technology level was just not to the level you'd see in a World War I.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of look at World War I and be like, oh, I can understand how millions of people died in this conflict. When you have these tools of industrialized war, you don't have that at all in the 30 Years War. So that was difficult. But once I hit that specific approach, it eased up a little bit. A lot of times, like I said, you have to play to the medium you're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times, if I'm having a really big problem, the solution is to be like, well, how are we framing this? What are we doing with this? How are we leveraging the fact that this is an animated video series rather than, an essay or a book or something else?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the cards episode is a great example of that. We wrote the cards episode. I did it with a great guest writer, Robbie McNiven, who I met through Black Library. He also does great Black Library books, and all the information was great. But we're like, doing these long-term histories of an item, we kind of have to have some kind of framing device.
Yeah.
And the idea of this kidnapping story came about, and it was like, oh, great, perfect. We've inserted some of the conflict that we need. Sorry, this is my syringe.
Yeah.
Motion. We've injected some of the conflict that we need to have an ongoing narrative in this thing that has no narrative.
Right. Yeah. It was very good, and I also my hat off to Matt for and to Mac obviously for doing the 3 different characters so well. And people are like, man, I love henchmen. Right. I feel like we could bring henchmen back as a recurring bit. I feel like that could be a thing. But I am also happy to report that I will now make appear out of the ether, Geoff.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good time zone, shall we say?
Yeah. I say, Rob, what time is it for you?
Same time as for you.
That's right. Never mind. You're in the States right now.
Yeah, correct. We managed to not do this while Rob is in his traditional time zone, which is exactly opposite mine. Which is, if you're wondering why we don't do more things, not only is Rob incredibly busy, but also the time zone thing is not easy to wrangle because someone is losing sleep somewhere over it, and doing it on the regular is not feasible because of that. We would have to do a lot of work to make that all feasible. So, Geoff.
Well, hey, what's going on today? Anything up? Like Rob's on?
You know, just a little Kickstarter launch, just a little one that funded in 20 minutes. Just
the thing we've been working on for the past half year, furiously.
Right. The one that
is live.
Yeah.
Hold on. Excited cat.
That poor long suffering cat.
Oh, right. I am so excited. I've been watching since you guys went live. I watched you and David talk about it. Rob, I was getting ready to hop on, and my Chrome browser, for some reason, which is very reliable, was like, I'm going to refresh and hang. And then all my stuff stopped on the computer, which is why I'm late. But I am so excited. We put this together. People seem to like it. That makes me even more excited.
Yeah, the people liking it. There's always, hold on, I'm gonna move us over here real quick to watch this finish up.
Oh yeah. Oh, Ophelia.
Here, you all can squabble over which one of those goes where and who finishes the puzzle. There you go.
Huzzah.
Yeah, I did promise everyone I would show off the thing. Let's make this a 30 second.
I love these time lapses.
Yeah.
These are one of my favorite things.
20. This is going to be 30 seconds long at 60 frames per second. And am I worried about rendering this while I'm live? So I should be, but I'm not, because I'm full of this thing called hubris.
Oh, man, I'm full of a thing called coffee.
I mean, I'm also full of a thing called caffeine, but, you know, it's fine.
It's funny. So Val, I know Matt said we met her when we were at PAX through Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine, you know, that person you might know as the one running the official Dungeons and Dragons actual play as the Dungeon Master, because we've known her since way before she was that famous. But yeah, now heading up all the D&D stuff and doing a banging job, may I say. Val and Jasmine sit at the same table at PAX, like showing off stuff, and they were working together on a project. And I walked up and saw Val's art, and I was like, wow, she's also really good. I'd love to work with her on something.
Yep.
And because we've been so busy this year, and Matt had so much of David's art time claimed, as one does, because we're putting out videos, I was like, we're going to have to get another artist to help on this, and immediately thought of her. This piece, Ophelia, I was showing her piece art we could possibly do. I have this huge Trello of historical art from all these different centuries and time periods and regions. And she's like, I want that one. It's like, I want Ophelia. I'm like, really? For your first piece, you want Ophelia? And she's like, yep. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And she nailed it. Like, watching her do this piece gave me confidence. Like, initially I was like, cool, we'll try her out for a piece or two. We'll see if she's, if the style fits, if it's good working with her, we'll have her do more of it. And looking at this piece, I just pinged Matt. I'm like, okay, everything David can't do, she's doing.
Yeah.
And has done.
Yeah. Seeing her art in this way has been really cool. Okay, let me get out of this. And chat, worry not, I have come with a second piece that I have been cleared.
This is my art piece for today, or my shirt for today.
Oh, it's very good. Yes. You've seen the time lapse of this on the Kickstarter page, which we'll go back and check on momentarily, because I see questions about what the heck is going on. Yeah, we should. With me actually on now, I'm happy to do a refresh with you, Will. That is indeed my goal. I am merely going to get the mods and chats. Or we can ask everybody's forbearance for a couple of minutes and let Rob finish talking, and we could do it at the top of the hour. We could also do that. Mm-hmm. It's up to you. I'm fine with whatever. I'm over here plugging away in the background. You two take it away. I don't know. I was muted for coughs. Oh, yeah. I'm with kids 24/7 because of the summer, so I have coughs. Dude, for those out there considering small ones,
something that Rob and I, who both have small ones, can tell you that you never really hear so much is the amount that they are plague rats and bring things into your house. And just when you think you've fully built up your immune system as an adult, you are re-exposed to the vigors of these grubby little plague rats who you love. They go out and get sick and then bring it back into your household.
I just love
this
beloved plague rats.
This year we flipped though, because we have it's so common that it's become a joke that my son gets sick and my daughter gets hurt. Because like she never gets sick, but she always gets injured, and he never gets injured, but he always gets sick. And this summer we flipped it. My son got hurt and my daughter got sick.
Well, at least
that was a fun flip. Yeah, I know. That was a fun flip.
So real quick for chat, this is for a brand new 2027 calendar, though we have our cool 2026 calendars still in the store. And actually, I believe we just marked it down to half price because half the year is over. So if you're interested, we can if somebody could throw a link in chat, there is a store you can go to right now and get art and a calendar like this sent to you today. You can go hit the button and get it, or you can pledge now for the 2027 because we have to do this early because it takes a while to make physical goods. And we wanted to make sure that it is in everybody's hands before the year starts, because it's nice to have a calendar before the year starts.
Yep. Okay, I'm all set up. I think I'm good.
Okay, you're all set up?
I am.
I can tell.
I am. Oh, yeah. Chat, if you've never been on camera while producing, allow me to assure you it merely adds an extra chainsaw to the pile of chainsaws that you juggle. It's fun. It's exhilarating. They're still chainsaws. Rob, as our time together draws to a close and we get ready to bring an Allie in here to talk about the card deck, what is the thing you're most excited about for people to see on the calendar this year? Is there a date that people should look out for? Is there something? What thing are you the most excited about?
Some art, a caption.
Well, I am so excited for the card deck. I love that card deck. I am also just there are so many good pieces of art this year. I think well, it hasn't been revealed yet. So there's one that involves the Matterhorn, which I really enjoy.
Oh, the one David's working on right now.
Yes, because also that we talk about favorite series. That is one of my favorite series. I love the 2-episode Matterhorn series.
Rob, did you see the name?
I don't.
I named the piece Women Ascending specifically because that was the name of the second episode you wrote about that.
Yeah, so I don't climb. I don't love. I'm okay with heights, but I don't love heights when I have to physically cling on with my double rotator cuff injury. But like I've been trekking quite a bit, and I love being in the mountains, and I love like alpine stuff. So that is just one of my favorites. In that bizarre period of Victorian mountaineering where people are taking bottles of champagne with them up, the Piz Gloria and the Matterhorn and having parties at the top, which, is very inadvisable. Very inadvisable.
Yeah, it turns out having your blood thinned by alcohol at altitude is a really great way to die. That's just a recipe for disaster.
You're using natural fiber ropes that some of them are the ropes that are supposed to hold you, and some of them are ropes that are supposed to do other stuff, and it's easy to get them confused. Or like, you have regular leather shoes that you've put some nails in or something like that, So I love that series. I love that piece of art. The Christmas one is very cool too. The Christmas one, which we are also working on right now.
Revealed yet. Specifically, as I was browsing art, I bumped into this piece and I was just looking at it, and I recognized the name because it's an artist we talked about in our History of Cats series. The one who basically made the Victorians, he did Victorian cat memes, but then slowly got more and more surreal and psychedelic. So we have a picture from this guy who did Victorian cat memes that we're using as an homage, halfway between his period into his wild out there stuff, and it's gonna be a pretty good one. We're putting it for Christmas. Our Christmas ones have always been a bit odd. Excuse me,
Yeah.
we're doing it for the holidays. I'm saying Christmas. This is our first actual Christmas one. We've had, well, actually, I guess Saint Nick. Never mind. Saint Nick is Christmas.
And so was Merry Christmas, Grilla.
Yeah, actually, never mind. They've all been Christmas, but they've also all been like holiday because we mix in all of our different holiday things.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Rob, our next guest is here, so I will let you. Oh, no!
What was that?
Listen, it was only a matter of time. Oh, god dang it, and now I have the glitch. Okay, cool, great, awesome. I have to deal with that now for the rest of the time. No! Ugh. Curses. All right, I have to do this the hard way. Rob, thank you so much for joining us today. I will see you later, or whenever I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna say bye to Rob and bring in our next guest.
Yeah.
See you, Rob.
All right. See you.
All right. That was like the wrong button to push at the wrong time. And now I have to deal with a whole different thing. Yes, that's Zoe walking on a cord. I can't even blame my roommate's cats. They are both elsewhere, being beyond lazy, I will say. Okay. All right. Everybody say hi to Allie.
Hey!
All right, hold on a sec. I gotta,
Hi to the people, Allie.
I gotta change two things. One, I gotta let you hear Allie, and two, I gotta crop Allie. That's slightly different.
We should just leave her on without her voice for like 30 seconds just so she can glare at us.
No.
That one was on me. I muted myself.
No, you're quite all right. All right, Allie. Hello, hi, greetings, salutations. Welcome to this incredible nonsense that I have accidentally created. You join us right as we pass $18,500 in 2 hours, which
All right.
and 294 backers is just wild, y'all.
That's great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And what that especially means is people are doing the higher tiers.
Yeah.
Allie, welcome. We have some people who've joined us. We promised to kind of do a recap of what we're doing here. So while Will figures out his technical issues,
Thanks.
will you talk about this Kickstarter with me?
I would love to, because it would be nice to hear it also.
There we go. Allie, I would love to walk you through what we're doing this year. And
Yes,
for
please.
everybody who's joining in and hasn't seen before, this is Allie. Allie is one of our longtime extra history artists. She has done an amazing amount of work for us, and this year specifically has worked both on the pins, which we're currently voting on, and did the entire playing card deck. All of the imagery, all of the symbols, all of the back, just the whole thing. And as we scroll down the page at some point, we will get to that. But for those just joining us, as a history channel, we look for fun things to do in addition to the videos we put out. And if you've ever looked at our cadence, we do kind of a lot. Every 3 out of every 4 weeks, we have a history video that goes live. Every week, we have a history short that goes live. And that also doesn't count the stuff that we do over on the Extra Credits channel. And this takes an entire team to do. We need writers, we need artists, we need editors, we need voiceover, we need audio edit, copy edit, just kind of all of that around. I do a lot of like the background research and analytics around it as the studio director. We also manage a Patreon. The Patreon is where once we picked our topics, our themes, excuse me, we might say, crazy things that happened, or we might say a war or famous people. We'll go to that, and our Patreon people will give them that. They will give us suggestions. Rob, who's our lead historian, will look through that for things he thinks can make interesting episodes. We'll take 3 or 4 of those, and then our patrons vote on that again, and that becomes our episodes. So we kind of have this whole team that works in concert with our Patreon to figure out what goes on YouTube. But because YouTube is a weird beast, we also like to do other fun projects. And our history calendar this is our third one that we're doing, and it's kind of become an ongoing annual tradition where we will look through and do a lot of research on fun historical art, and then go to our artists, or even pull in a new one this year because we were so busy and booked. We'll be introducing Val at some point as we scroll. Actually, we're seeing Val's art on screen right now, Voodoo Val. But we do a calendar, and our calendars have a history happening on them every single day. So when you look at every single day on history, we'll say a little thing that happened. Some days, I love the turning on your chair, Allie.
Yep, sorry. Sorry, I have one next to me, so I just wanted to grab it.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
so the viewers can see. So it has like little history things every day and cool art.
We can pull up years past.
Yeah.
But,
So sorry about the chair turn. I was so
Do it.
excited. I
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of it.
No, it's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So we can actually, Will, if you can scroll down a little more,
Yep.
like we have this example piece here. And so there we go. So you can see every single day, there's things to talk about. If there's a picture behind it, that means that we have done a video that covers something that happened on that day. And if you scan the QR code, it will take you to a web page that will list, you know, if say you're on the month of like November here, all of the happenings that we've done videos on with dates linked in November, as well as a video talking about the piece of art on the top. So for example, that one right there is, I think, episode 4 of one of our History of Japan series with Hanzo, and right after the deaths of Oda Nobunaga, when they're escaping through the countryside.
Yep.
And but it's inspired by a piece called "Playing the Flute by Moonlight," in which a famous courtier is walking home playing his flute and is almost ambushed by a bandit. But the bandit listens to his music and decides, no, he's too cool, and lets him go by. And so we've kind of done that with Hanzo leading him through the wilderness. And being on screen, I'm paraphrasing horribly. But anyway, we pick famous historical art, we redraw it in our bean style. We have history happenings every single day. And it's just a fun way to kind of learn a cool thing every day and get a little bit of extra historyness and find cool videos you might want to watch that day. I get to look at the analytics, and it's kind of fun because I can see groups using the calendar, because we'll kind of see these little patterns of videos that pop up as people watch them that day, like more than they normally would from our back catalog, because people are scanning on the calendar day.
You know, today is an episode I did. Is Lucy Walker gains first female ascent of the Matterhorn. So we did 2 episodes about about climbing the Matterhorn, and so that's today's. So that's really cool.
Yeah, we were just
Allie,
talking.
Oh, go ahead.
We were just talking about that with Rob.
Yeah. You haven't seen it yet, but the piece David is finishing up today is referencing that episode.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so it's the 2 women who climbed the Matterhorn. And David peeks, usually I pick the art or I'll work with the artist. This one I was just like, David, theme is summer, who's an artist you love? And he was like, oh, this one. And we found a piece that we could connect with that episode and kind of had a summer vibe.
Awesome.
So he is finishing working on it right now. And I think that gets revealed at several tiers down the line.
Speaking of tiers down the line, we are currently hurtling towards our $20,000 goal. We are at $18,711.
I'll do a little behind the scenes stuff. We pre-write some of our, hey, we hit this tier goal message because we don't want to rush it. Like, we want to think out, we want to be able to say thank you and say, this is what's coming up. I may not have written enough of them with Matt. Yep. Actually, Will, can you go back up? Let's walk down and show people what they're, so if you pledge on this, you can pledge and get a calendar. Calendars are cool. Actually, go back up a little more. Okay, you're seeing the calendar. Each one has beautiful art. This is our cover. Voodoo Val, who's our new artist on this year. She and David have been doing these. This is one of hers. based on the Starry Night. This is from our episode Siege of Vienna. It shows one of the winged hussars looking down over the hill. You can't see the Ottoman army below because they came in from a hilltop, but we have actually redrawn the city to be Vienna from the time, including the walls. You can see the church coming out of it. So it is a fun interpretation of it. And that big bush that everybody thinks is a tree that stands in kind of the lower left of the Starry Night is now a winged hussar. And
That's so cool.
That is also, by the way, if you're in chat or lurking and haven't been looking at chat, there's a link floating around in chat that the mods have been posting where you can work on a puzzle version of this exact thing. Is it incredibly difficult? Yes. Am I being somewhat sadistic about this? Also, yes. Is it a 1,000-piece Starry Night inspired puzzle? Yeah. Good luck.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love puzzles.
I am a gracious stream overlord. I have given chat enrichment for their stream enclosure.
You are so sweet. They need it. Yeah. You got to give them enrichment toys.
Yeah.
And so you will see one of the things, though, is we also have what we call our deluxe and our ultimate tiers. Our regular one gets you a calendar because a lot of people want a calendar, but we also love to throw in extra things. So something brand new this year that's in our deluxe and above packages are a pack of extra history playing cards that Ali did all of the art for. We picked famous kings, queens, and we picked famous historical figures to put on our kings, queens, and jacks. And Ali, you just did a bang up job with these. Like, I am so looking forward to getting the physical version of this. We have the art in. We're actually into manufacturing at this point.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun working. It's been on my bucket list to do playing cards. Mm-hmm. So it was fun to get to do them for extra history and to do characters. A lot of the characters I've done, they weren't all episodes I've done, but it was very cool. I really enjoyed doing playing cards.
So I have a process question that you are uniquely qualified to answer because I was curious about this. So
yes.
One of the things that I don't believe we mentioned in the history of playing cards is the mirrored face cards. That was at one point an innovation because people realized that if you turn the card over to see, so the face is right side up, your opponent knows that you have a face card in your hand. So they started doing these both, like, there is no wrong way up for a face card. Did you do that with like a mirror or like over a line, or did you like sketch out what you wanted it and then on both sides and then sort of mirror it, or how can you tell us how you did that? Because that seems like one of the weird and interesting fun challenges of doing playing cards.
So if anybody with any experience on the drawing apps on iPad or any drawing program, a lot of the apps, the one I use is Adobe Fresco, just because I have to use the Adobe Suite for everything, so it makes sense. But one of their little features is, along with like a ruler and a circle, you can choose to turn on symmetry. So these playing cards, you can turn off and on symmetry. This is a very basic reverse symmetry, so it's like one on top and then it reverses on. So I literally just drew the top half, and then it draws the bottom half while I'm drawing the top half. You get some interesting, like you can't do a fill on both sides. So there's some weird process things that I had to keep in mind while I was doing it. And also like moving stuff around got difficult because like you can draw it, but you can't move it together.
Oh, interesting.
So as you're like doing the sketch kind of has to be good, and then you do the line work, because if you have to change anything after that, it's just a pain.
Yeah, so it's not all the tool does it for you. It's the tool helps you lay it out, and then
it made things way easier. Like it took no time at all to do what arguably would have been very difficult and time consuming, but it was very fun to do. Watching it happen below where you're drawing is really interesting and fun, I think.
That's got to be really cool, actually.
Yeah, it is really cool. And things like the cover, the backside of the playing cards, like that wasn't the same. Like I did different types of mirrors to accomplish that. So some of them are like a straight symmetry, some of them are reverse symmetry. The border was done with like, if you do something in one corner, you can duplicate it in all 3 corners. So then like you can draw out from just one section, and like you can do like a whole bunch of different things, and it's very, very fun. I will be utilizing this more often in the future because it was really fun to work with. But yeah, most people, if you're familiar with drawing apps specifically, I'm not familiar with like Photoshop on the computer and stuff. I'm sure Photoshop does it, but it's just a setting and you can turn it on, and it makes it so much fun.
I'm also gonna pitch this here to Geoff and Allie and to all of you because I could do that. We should put the back of the playing cards on a T-shirt. Like,
ooh, that would be cool.
I think that would be. That
actually, you know, what'd be really fun.
That would be cool.
How about a front? Well, let's see. Well, I mean, like I love art print T-shirts, but I want a shirt with like the little pocket picture, this playing card size here, but the back is big with the back of the playing card deck.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah, something.
So it's a front and a back.
Yeah.
On the T-shirt.
Maybe because there's an undisclosed character who makes an appearance as some sort of fool or joker, I am to understand, whose identity will remain a secret.
We hit a certain goal, which at this ratio, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Will, do you have the ability to bring up some of the product shots to show more of the cards, or is
the one I have is actually this shot, which I did not realize because I didn't check the Kickstarter. When
I have all the cards, but
I know you do, but we're not going to pull all of them up.
That's fine. I'm just saying I have access.
Well, he's showing off.
So anyway, we're talking about
files.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
one of the things that you get with the deluxe and above packages is this amazing deck of playing cards. You'll be able to pick them up in our store afterwards, but if you want to get them sooner and honestly cheaper, because everything we do in our Kickstarter, we basically bundle discount it down. I think the deluxe and ultimate tiers, if you'd actually went and picked up everything, it would cost you twice as much. We're just like, well, it's like, yeah, let's just throw it all in, have fun.
We're big fans of bundles. We're big fans of bundles, like wherever we find them.
I love a good bundle.
Right? Nebula, a great bundle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Bundle, Pokemon fans out there.
I was gonna say Steam sale bundles. Okay, so
no.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. My mom is pledging on Kickstarter right now and she's trying to figure Kickstarter out.
Yeah. So earlier on,
playing cards in the bundle.
Yeah. Earlier on, we showed off this History of Playing Cards episode. If you haven't seen it yet, it's live now. Yeah. When we're done with the stream in 41 minutes, go watch this episode. If you missed it earlier, we watched.
Follow us over to Design Club. Both of which are solid options.
Well, there'll be about 15 minutes between when this stream ends and when Design Club begins, which is just enough time to watch that video.
No, I need to send this to my family too. Maybe they can pledge while I'm on screen.
So these let me point the right way. There we go. Are mirrored. These pins, which we're voting on right now, Allie also drew.
I also did them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have History Horse, Zoe, and the Foreshadow. Matt said he voted for the horse, but I think he's backing the wrong horse because right now Zoe is in the lead.
Yeah, I'm just
that could change.
A skull. I mean, we know her audience.
Yeah, I was like, Allie, you're not biased at all, right? That you drew an extra cute Zoe with the cheeks in a skull, and then like the Foreshadow and horse look cool, but Zoe is in a skull. Like I don't know that there was ever really much of a contest.
No,
I will say
it's a cat in a skull. Like, come on.
History Horse clutching the pin, trying not to fall off, made me laugh. Actually, laugh out loud the first time I saw the art come through.
It's quite good.
Yeah, I was like, how do I want to put him on a thumbtack. A horse would be really uncomfortable on a thumbtack. So that's how that happened.
Yeah. Got a great question. Whose cat is Zoe? Matt's. Zoe lives with Matt. Well, although I think she would object to the term whose cat. Zoe is her own cat who happens to live with and tolerate Matt the most.
Yeah, she does, though.
Except
that cat's an independent.
Tell me about it. The number of times she's interrupted Games for Breakfast, our weekly gaming news talk show, to get into Matt's arms and then put her claws in his beard. Like, that is the only thing she wants in the entire world, is to climb into his arms and then beard just beard claws. Like I don't. Yeah.
Cats are the OG chaos gremlins of the modern age.
Yeah.
Just straight up. And our studio has a surprising number of people with cat. Like almost everybody who regularly goes. Actually, everybody who regularly goes on stream has a cat that lives with them. At least one.
Yep. Mine. The
they
ones
disrupt our streams all the time gloriously.
Yeah. She's not interrupting. She's starring. True. Okay. Let's.
So actually, finishing the recount. Zoe Real lives with Matt, and when Matt became the narrator, one of the early things he did was he said, "I want Zoe in with me," and the artists were like, "Let's do this." And Rob, who was writing the episodes, agreed. Actually, all of our writers kind of bid in, and now Zoe is a fully reoccurring character that co-hosts with Matt.
Who is also her own voice actress, by the way.
Oh, that's true. All the meows you hear are indeed Zoe getting recorded by Matt.
She is quite vocal, as anyone who has seen her show up on stream will attest. If you put her in front of a mic, she knows what that is, I think. Quite interesting. Okay. I see other questions coming in. We're going to finish the recap, and then we might have time for some of those. So, we're doing a magnet vote next Tuesday. So tuning in a week from today, there'll be a vote on the magnet. And then,
speaking of which, magnets. So things you get in deluxe package: calendar, playing card deck, a set of refrigerator magnets. Let's just skim down to what's in.
Yeah, I was going to get there. Yeah.
Well, actually, never mind. Well, I'm taking it out of order. What we'll just breeze by was we're doing a lot of art reveals as we hit different tier goals.
Yep.
So you will see all of those up there. Well, especially once you pledged on Kickstarter, you'll get emails as we do each art reveal and other things. There'll be write-ups on about the art. There'll also be write-ups on our interpretation, our homage to it, what we're taking the inspiration from. These tiers right here show, there we go, historical calendar. So you get a calendar. We already hit the tier goal where you get a Nebula store credit. Nebula is our creator streaming service. We also have a store up there. And this works not just for our stuff, but for anything from the 200 plus Nebula creators.
Yep.
So if you want to go buy a jet lag hat or one of Lindsay Ellis's things or something from Legal or Tierzoo, that's all up there. But it does indeed work for our stuff as well.
Yep.
This is our secret way to give you money to go check out a store for free.
Yeah.
Which I think is a kind of fun thing. You get access to the website where you can see the daily happenings. You get to vote on everything. For the regular, with the deluxe, this is just where we start throwing everything in. The deluxe gets you not just the calendar, but it gets you the playing cards. It gets you a $10 instead of a $5 credit. You get that cool exclusive thumbtack that Ali designed. We started with 2. We're up to 3 fridge magnets because we hit a tier goal. And you also get digital posters and wallpapers with it. The posters, the digital posters are, when we draw these, I drive all of our artists crazy. I give them a set of bleed lines that the art has to fit into so that we can resize it into the 4 most popular poster sizes for physical posters. And we give you high enough resolution art that if you want one of these at, say, a 27 by 40 or a 24 by 36 to put on your wall and you want to print it out, you'll get all of the art files for that. So we try and make this as accommodating as possible for people who want to do things. And we also do them into the long phone wallpapers to fit Android and iPhone on a variety of sizes.
Yep.
So all of that comes in the deluxe, and if you go for the ultimate, it's all of that, and we put the puzzle in.
Yep. And then we have some 2 other pledges. One, if you're just interested in a bunch of the calendars, say you're a teacher and you want to put them up around a classroom, or
you're
share
the head
with
of a history
other
department, say.
Yep. Then this is the way to do it. You just get 5 calendars at the lowest rate we can give them to you at, and you also do get access to voting, but that's all you get. Right. And then down here,
actually, we have never done the Scholastic tier before. We threw it in because we'd have people ask about it. I have no idea if we will sell even a single Scholastic package. Like, most people show up to get a calendar, but this was a way that if you wanted to get multiple, we could make it cheaper for you because we want to support our friends in universities and schools and everywhere else if this is the thing they want.
Yep. And then the last tier is probably the most interesting. Is our $500 tier. It contains everything from the deluxe tier, and you get to submit 3 ideas. So you give us 3 ideas. We'll pick one, or we'll work with you to workshop one of them into an idea that works. We do retain full editorial control, but we're gonna work with you to figure out something that we're both happy with, and then we'll do a short on that. There have been a bunch of previous ones, including one on the first woman to be awarded the Medal of Honor that was suggested by someone at this tier.
The misleading history of actually, Will, right below is a playlist of every short done because of this Kickstarter or the previous 2 years Kickstarters.
Yeah.
But it's basically choose a topic you'd like us to do a history short on, and then we'll go research it. You know, do the writing, do the voiceover, do the art, the animation, the editing. Like we do the full production. We put it out on YouTube and TikTok. So if you have ever had a thing, actually, my favorite, I'll have to say, I've always wanted to do Emperor Edward Norton the First, the first and only emperor of the United States.
Yep.
And we finally got to do it because somebody picked it on Kickstarter, did a Kickstarter short for it, and I was so happy. So we got to cover the only emperor the United States has ever had.
Yeah. Cool. And then you can also add stuff on, and there will be a pledge manager afterwards. Yeah. So as long as you pledge at the $2 tier or above, you'll get access to that afterwards. But this is, those pledge manager additions obviously don't count towards our stretch goals. So if you'd like to help unlock things, we do encourage you to add stuff here first for stretch goal purposes.
Do what you're comfortable with. Like this is here for people to hopefully get some fun stuff that makes them happy every day. Yeah. Like our goal is to give you things that usually it's digital things that you enjoy. This is our chance to give you physical things you enjoy and hopefully bring you joy throughout the year.
We are also closing in on that $20,000 stretch goal, and we've cracked 300 backers, which is my favorite part of this, is watching the number of backers go up and up. So we are now at 304 backers. So having done our Kickstarter recap, I'm going to show you now what chat is suffering through.
I want to see the puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, so this is a 1,000-piece version of the Siege at Night. They're doing their darndest. I don't expect them to finish this.
Oh man, challenge laid down.
Yeah. Well, with all of the tech problems I'm currently having, more on that later, Geoff. They will impact you and me in Design Club because we got to do a thing in between this and Design Club now, which is great. I wanted to give them something they could work on for a while, so it's this, and have fun with that. Also, we had a question from chat that we've had other people answer throughout the day, and I wanted to throw it to both of you now that we've finished our recap. What is your favorite Extra History series? It doesn't have to be one that you've worked on, but it can be. What's your favorite? And I know lots of people assume that we have favorites. We've worked on so many different projects. I don't even remember all of the ones that, like, I have routinely forgotten that I wrote episodes for extra credits. Like, it just
isn't that a weird thing?
Yeah, right.
So crazy.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I like when the history completes come down the pike, and they're like, I think Maja Pahet came down the pike, and I had to do some fixes for that. But that was the first series I ever worked on, so it was really crazy to go back and look at all those files again. And make those changes for the complete. So if that's not out by now, it's coming. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know. But,
hey, Will, you want to know? Oh, keep going. Let's see something crazy. I was just looking. We've released at this point right around 750 full-length episodes, and from shorts. Hold on. I'm in our YouTube analytics because I keep track of all of these.
Yeah, Geoff is our numbers guy. Like, yeah, and
I like numbers.
He
It's
does.
my
He's
video
very
game
good
designer
with them,
background.
That's
and
good.
we have more than 200 shorts. So we have actually adding those together right around 1,000 extra history things we've now done.
Yeah, that's just histories, by the way. That's not including credits.
Yeah, that doesn't count extra mythology. So you haven't read. extra sci-fi, extra politics, and of course, extra credits, which also probably has an equal number just of itself to all of the others combined because that one's been going so long.
Yep. Yeah, that's wild.
Let's see. So, as anybody who's watched our streams can tell you, I have a hard time saying the word favorite. I can tell you favorites.
Yeah.
I know Allie's laughing at me, but it's true.
No, it's fun. It's like you just, some words just don't come out right. Martin was saying Beckfrist for a long time, so that's one of my favorite. But my one of my teachers always said library. I don't know if she's being serious or not, but I like saying it now. Or instead of murder, I say myrtle, and that's just more fun. And that one's.
I actually meant it in a different way. I have a hard time picking the one thing I like the most, where if it was like giving 4 or 5 of your...
Oh, you mean like a list? Like, oh, well, who's your top Pokemon? Oh, I can't list one Pokemon, but I have a top 15.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were talking about one.
I really liked our History of Coffee series. Like, thinking through... Actually, our commodity ones, History of Coffee, History of Beer. Cats aren't a commodity, but History of Cats. Like things where we take a specific thing and kind of go research back to its origins. So the playing card one
lines up real well with that.
Yeah.
Well, because
goes really.
I think one of the things that Extra History, like one of our strengths is, and one of the strengths of this project that I really enjoy, is that history is a living, breathing thing that influences every day, and it's not like. Oftentimes, when you think about history in like, if you imagine it in sort of an evocative, synesthetic sense, you think of like dusty tomes and research in a library, and like it's very academic, it's very analytical, it's not fun or exciting. And maybe you get there with like paleontology, right? And like go dig up dinosaur bones and whatever. But history is all around us in all the things that we do, and it's in things like the coffee that you drink in the morning, or the beer that you drink at night, or the playing cards that you use to play with your friends, or whatever. And that's one of my favorite things, is that we get to contextualize things using history to show how it's all still very heckin' relevant.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
actually,
so much more fun to see everything connected. Yeah.
Those are 2 of my other favorites.
Yeah.
Which 2?
I just threw on screen Money and Tulips.
Oh, I love the Tulips episodes.
Actually,
I became obsessed with Tulips after doing that series.
Ali, you drew that one, right?
I did. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I do have a couple of favorites that I've done. John Brown was a favorite of mine. I really enjoyed John Brown. A lot of it, like, weirdly, is more of an artistic thing. I feel like I nailed the color palette. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like I also really enjoyed doing the series. And the Tulips one, I got really obsessed with that one.
It's a beautiful.
Great. Yeah, I really enjoyed drawing that episode. And then the last one, for anybody that knows me, is the Vlad the Impaler episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of fun with those. That was very enjoyable for me. Another color palette one I was very proud of.
Yeah.
Not for people with red-green color blindness. I did learn that later. They were not good episodes for those people, and I apologize for that. I'm working on that. And I try to keep that in mind. But I really enjoyed working on those episodes as well.
Also,
like, artistically, those were fun.
Have you seen, by the way, the art that Val did this year with the Tulip series for the painting?
I did. Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, all of her stuff just came out so good, but the tulips were just chef's kiss.
Yeah, you just mentioned that one. I'm like, we haven't revealed that one yet, but it's a fun. We have so much good stuff to draw on.
Yeah.
And actually, it was fun bringing her in because she got to look at all your guys' artwork, like, because I was sending her a reference for it, and just the amount of good things, like, as a trained artist, like trained professional artist doing things, she got to come in and look at this, and she was like, when I showed her your horses for Siege of Vienna, she's like, who did this? The motion lines on the horses are amazing. Like, I was showing her some of, and it's true, but like, it's fun getting to bring in an artist who hasn't worked with you guys and show them your art. For the episodes, and because that's reference that she then uses when she's building in the characters that go into our reimagined classical artwork.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think like because the art style is simple, I think like I take for granted some of the stuff I do with it, and it's nice to hear an outside person be like, I really thought that this was really cool. Because not that I'm not doing high art or anything, but like I get to put my own kind of like oomph into it, and do some really engaging pieces. Like one of the series I'm working on right now, there's a couple of scenes where it's like, I wanted to feel something, and that's hard to do with it being so simple. But at the same time, when you can succeed, I think it's successful, and it's cool to hear a colleague be like, "Yeah, I really connected, and can see like." And it's cool. Yeah. Anybody who's watching the stream, I love reading art-related comments. Just saying.
So I did have two things. One, Allie, we have said that we're doing a series on the Kent State Massacre.
Oh, you have said that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's green light.
That's the one I was talking about because I just got to like the part, and so I had to. It's a tough series, but
yeah. And then.
Yeah.
And the other one, real quick, is that Matt is out here spoiling stuff. Speaking of Dino Bones, we have an episode coming up on the Bone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
That one is also incredible.
Bone Wars. If
the opening is just like my friend worked on it, and she did such a great job. Y'all are going to be blown away.
It's funny.
Amazing.
When we were figuring out the thumbnail for that, I was chatting with Matt and Kat. I'm like, we're going with the one where they're using dynamite to blow up dinosaur bones, right? And I was just like, yep, that's because we drew a couple other ones, but like one of them, like for the thumbnail, like there's somebody like a dynamite in and somebody running up and like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But because yes, these warring paleontologists who, if they couldn't make the discovery, would try and destroy the others' findings with things like dynamite, like. History's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like it's not. Yeah, it's or the Folding Ideas video on footprints in sand about fake dinosaur footprints and how they were used. How like the actual records of real dinosaur footprints were obscured because people kept trying to make fake dinosaur footprints to sell to tourists. Like stuff like that is just man. Paleontology. It feels more and more like Indiana Jones is less and less an exaggeration and more just a story about one plausible archaeologist, right?
It's incredibly plausible, like considering how many episodes involve artifacts. What we did I did a short about a Yeti finger.
Oh yeah, smuggling the Yeti finger in the suitcase of lingerie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, you'd be like, somebody made this up. Nope.
No,
not at all.
Specifically, in the suitcase of lingerie, because they were convinced that because of the time period, customs would not sort through the women's lingerie.
Yeah, they would not.
So they could smuggle the Yeti finger inside of that.
Yep.
Yep. There are, yes,
so
absolutely,
good.
100%.
Yeah. If anything, you could ramp up Indiana Jones a little bit, and it would still not be quite as close to believable.
Yeah. Or like,
I feel like they did that in the later movies. I mean, once aliens started coming in, I was a little less.
Once they nuked the fridge, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's.
Will. On the other hand, they call down the wrath of God in the first one. Like, what is a nuke compared to the wrath of God?
Right, okay, but see, like, one of those involves the Ark of the Covenant, and the other one involves the somehow mystical properties of a 1940s American standard in-home refrigerator, right?
We
so, like, one of those...
back then. That's what I'm saying.
One of those is a famous historical religious object of, like, incredibly great significance. Then the other one is a fridge. Like,
fair.
Yeah,
I don't.
Keeps my food cold. It's way more real and relevant than an Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking that when you start a series where the climax
F's in chat for fridge.
I guess maybe when you start a series where one of the penultimate things in the conclusion is the wrath of God comes down, as a writer, where you escalate from there afterwards for sequels has got to get a little crazy.
Yeah. No, that's fair. It's valid. You know, it is kind of difficult.
I mean, you go right to chilled monkey brains and pulling people's beating hearts out of their bodies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's all very true.
I can't believe he didn't try to put it back. You know?
Yeah.
I want to see him where he tried to put it back.
Just it can't.
Yeah,
Team
like
Fortress
he
2
took
style,
it out,
where he's like, get it back in.
Put it back in. Sorry. And then he just lowers anyway.
Yep. Anyway, this is what happens sometimes when you put the right combination of us on, is that we become very silly very quickly, as you will discover.
So what you're watching, if you're joining in now, is kind of the wrap. We're going to be wrapping this up in about another 20 minutes. We are doing a live stream on 3 channels, I believe, for the first time ever.
Yep, and you're having
Twitch,
tech problems on 3 channels for the first time ever.
Woohoo! And our extra credits channels are all streaming the exact same thing right now, which is the launch of our 2026 campaign for our 2027 history calendar. The History Happens Every Day calendar. There are links in chat for it. It will be going on for 31 days. Today is day number 1. And we are crowdsourcing our ability to make a calendar for next year with beautifully hand-done art from a couple of artists, as well as refrigerator magnets with some of the art, custom pins to hold up your calendar, a lot of research for daily historical happenings that happened every day, extra research to figure out which of those link to videos we've done in the past so that we can link you to them. Oh no, I'm a Telegram?
Is that
Yeah,
business
you are becoming
Wait, was that?
Yeah, your connection stinks again. Unfortunately, Allie and I are like...
Actually, this is me doing that part.
Yeah, Allie and I are adjacent states, and Geoff is very non-adjacent, though I'm curious why he's having connection problems and Rob didn't. So, or David didn't? Although I suppose the transatlantic cable is easier. Who knows?
Am I back, or shall I do that refresh thing?
If you could do that refresh thing, it would probably help as we wrap up. I can answer some questions while we do this.
Where was that?
Corey asks, is the history in every day different from last year? Yes, because believe it or not, more than one thing happens every day.
What?
Wild. But yes,
so it is increasingly hard to find them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, great, excellent. There is now a discussion about whether the Temple of Doom or Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a better Indiana Jones movie. I will leave that to braver folks than I to litigate. No.
Well, I'm so sorry. Where's the refresh thing again?
Right click on your screen, right click on your face, show stats. Top of it, send keyframe, or you can just refresh the page, which might be.
I heard Mentos was the refresh maker.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you ever so much for that wonderful gem.
I'm just gonna go.
Allie knows I'm just giving her a hard time. Nope. Geoff is still having connection problems. Hooray. Glorious, because, you know. Chat, have you ever had this? Like, a thing where you only get one shot at it. That is the time when things completely beyond your control, like Geoff's connection issues, will pop up every time. All of the time. Unfortunately. Internet happens every day. It does. It continues to internet. Unfortunately, the internet is a series of tubes that is also largely out of our control. Does Allie have a space-time riff attached to her chair? Yes, Allie's using a chair-mounted green screen, so every time she turns her chair, you get
glimpses.
Yeah, you get glimpses of the space behind her chair. Unfortunately. Yes, Geoff.
Don't worry, the rift is not dangerous yet. Yet.
Is it a crack in the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
There's more, but that was good.
Okay, I am going to say that what we're going to do, because Geoff is having technical problems and I need to go sort those out, and we need to begin our design club in a little under half an hour, is we're going to start the process of wrapping up this stream. So we'll go over where we're at with the Kickstarter and what's coming up next, and then we'll send everyone on their way, and we will go from there.
Sounds good.
Let's bring that Kickstarter up. By the way, this puzzle will remain up through Design Club, so if you want to hang out and work on the puzzle in the background while we're doing Design Club later, it will remain up. I did make it sadistically difficult, so it will take all afternoon. You're welcome. Here's where we're at. We are at $19,711.
Oh, we're so close.
We are almost at that $20,000 goal.
So close.
Yep, it's incredibly close. I imagine it's entirely possible that by the time I go through what's happening, we'll be there. So this is our 2027 historical events calendar. History happens every day. So far, we've unlocked a variety of stretch goals, but the core idea remains the same. Every day in history, there's a different historical fact. Every month is a different piece of art done in our style, inspired by a different wonderful piece of art and a character or characters from a series or series that we have done. I just said series or series, but like imagine that one of them had an apostrophe, right? Like, you know. And it can be yours. All of the early birds, I believe, are gone now. So $25 gets you the 2027 calendar. $45 gets you the calendar and a whole bunch of really nifty add-ons, including but not limited to a deck of playing cards, the thumbtack that the Kickstarter is voting on, some fridge magnets, and a whole bunch of digital goodies, and a store credit for Nebula, and a bunch of stretch goals that we're still working on. So tune back in. That's $45. $65.
That's so much stuff for $45.
I know, and $65 is everything I just said and a puzzle. It's actually not this many pieces, but it is the picture that chat is working on right now. Oh no, sorry, that worked on earlier. It's Ophelia from earlier, and it's fewer pieces. It's not 1,000 pieces. They wouldn't let me suggest that we do a 1,000-piece puzzle because no one wants to do that apparently. So yeah, there are also tiers for teachers at the Scholastic tier and the Make Your Own History tier, in which you get to suggest a historical event to make a short, and only 6 of those remain. So we are very excited. This will be running for the next month, so please tune in. And again, if you don't have the funds to back right now, you can back at the $2 tier and get in on all of the votes and put it all in at the Pledge Manager later. Or if you don't even want to do that, spreading the word about this thing that we're doing will really help. Tell your friends, tell your teachers, tell your your parents, tell everyone about this really cool project. So yeah, if you have questions, I'm sure folks on the Kickstarter as well as in our chats throughout the month will be able to answer them. So if you have any of those, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much to Allie and to Geoff for joining us, even though we are having technical problems. Thanks to all of you, chat, for dealing with our technical problems today. They have been myriad and ridiculous. So we're gonna sign off here on our YouTube channels. Don't worry, it'll automatically redirect you to our upcoming thing, which will be taking place in 25 minutes. It'll be a design club on crunchy historical games. Geoff and I are going to get into why are historical games so crunchy. Who can say? So until then, everybody, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. Enjoy the Kickstarter campaign, and we'll see you all next time. Everybody wave. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, where's that? Oh, I got that.